Hello and welcome to Nollywood Film Club. I'm Mr. C, a lyrical critic. I hope you're doing well. I am still here. Yes, I hope you listen to the other ones. No, you don't watch these, do you? I hope you've listened to the other episodes from the break, starting from episode 136 and hopefully 137. Genres in Nollywood, female stars in Nollywood. I don't look. This is just trying to do all of this in one go. Okay, yes. So in the previous episode, we would have this is the sister or brother episode, if you like, to the previous episode, 137. I was back, but a little too close to have given you the podcast, but it is here now. Please listen to the other ones beforehand. But I hope you enjoy another very fun conversation, but this time with me back hosting. I hope you didn't miss me too much. But Nollywood Film Club discussing male stars in Nollywood. Welcome to Nollywood Film Club. We do discuss Nollywood related subjects every Sunday, 6 p.m. Watt. Sometimes we discuss movies. But today we will be discussing the male Nollywood stars. We'll be discussing who we think are the best, who we think are the worst, and then I guess we'll do overrated / underrated. Although I think probably no need to do. Actually, there's a need. Don't worry, we'll do all of them. We'll try and make it quick. It should be a fun time. It should be a fun time. We're better than the female. Be better than the female one.
Define better.
Be funny. All right. Okay. We believe in you guys. We believe in you guys. All right. Let's start with who we think the best male Nollywood stars are. To continue from who are our last co-host, obviously stars. I'm not going to put too much. This thing. Stars are just Nollywood actors that are big. When you are big, you are big. If we have to start discussing whether you're big, you're probably not that big, to be honest. Who you think are the best, as in the best at their craft? Okay, so MSA, do you want to start us off? Who you think are some of Nollywood's best?
Oh my God, why am I stopping it? Well, that's fine. I'll just play. Of course. Well, thank you. Richard Damijo. That's the first person on my list. I've always loved that man. Then Peter Oduchi. Then the second is on my list is the third, of course, is oh, am I forgetting his name? I don't know. I don't want to look him up, but I always known him as Ukwa. I don't know why, but that's not his name, correct?
Nkemowo.
Ikemowo. Yeah, thank you. OC, is it OCOKJ?
OC.
Yes, that's my top five. And then who's the last person on my list? I wrote this down. I don't know why. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just looking for the last person. I wrote them down. That's how prepared I was. But I think I'll remember him. I can't even Google his name, but I know I watch his film a lot and I just enjoyed it. But yeah, but if I remember, I think I'll just put them in. But those are my top five.
Okay, all right. Thanks, MSA. I'm sure a few of these people will be repeated. I'm sure I'm going to get tired of saying somebody's name here, but I don't want to. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to encourage somebody. Yeah, all the people here. All right. Alana, do you want to give us your best Nollywood stars?
Yes, I actually thought this would be quite difficult. Sorry, first of all, happy Easter to everyone. Um, I actually thought this would be quite easy to have a list of best because the options are not much, but I have a list here, and I'm going to start with Ramsey the Daddy. Um, he's obviously my best because first of all, Ramsey has traversed generations. He has traversed generations, and It's not easy to start
Yes,
work from like the
Ramsey. Sorry,
90s.
Olana. Olana, it's Ramsey. Thank you.
Ramsey, oh, okay, okay, you're welcome. It's not easy to start from the 90s and still be relevant in 2025. Honestly, you don't do that because you are mediocre. You do that because you're consistent. You do that because you're actually good at what you do. And aside Ramsey being what's the word? Being like a multi generational talent, it's almost like the I wouldn't say he's almost like the Denzel of Nollywood as far as how long he has lasted and how he has been able to amass lovers and crushes and the likes over the years. But even more importantly, the reason why I put Ramsey here is because of his versatility. He's not just somebody who has been here for a long time. He's somebody who has been here for a long time and has range. You know, he at a point when he first started, I think they used to cast him as a lover boy, somebody's sugar boy and stuff like that. You know, and it's so easy to be typecast as that and just remain in that position. However, while being a lover boy and declaring love for whoever, he also was able to be an action boy and declare war on multiple persons. He has played like a lot of roles, some of them iconic, like in Dangerous Twins, like in 76, So his CV is obviously something that every other actor would want to have. So yeah, Ramsey is my first on the list. Um, I also have um Pete Edochie. Also has traversed like different generations, and he's iconic in his own right. Obviously, he's the daddy of the everybody and stuff like that. The original daddy, the granddaddy, in fact. So he's on my list for once again. This man has been in business since the 70s. It's not easy, you don't he has the respect of he's like the what would I even call himself, he's like the ancestor that everybody has to come and meet and be like the original Ibubediki, everybody they call him, everybody has to come and meet him and collect blessings and stuff. He's like an Arusi. So yeah, he's another version of my list. I also have because I don't want to stay like just with the older guys. I also want to come down to the younger persons that have done something for themselves over the years. So I also have Blossom on my list. Blossom is another very good actor. He's quite versatile. He picks his jobs a lot. I don't know. I don't see him in as much things I'd like to see him, but I feel like he has had his stamp enough that yes, I can say he's one of the best from his generation as well. And another person I have on my list, sorry, it's going to be a long list. I have Latif. Latif is also a very good actor. That's Latif Adedimeji. He's quite versatile. He's in a lot of stuff, and when you see him in a lot of roles, like you feel like he knows what he's doing, yeah. And he can play like bad guy. He has played shy guy. He has played wicked guy. So yeah, I feel like he's one of those yeah, that's one of the best that he's set up to offer. And I have also Osi. Anyways, you already mentioned Osi, so I don't want to harp on Osi, and on Nkemo. Obviously, I don't want to harp on him as well. And who else do I have? Okay, let me just okay. I have Uzo. He's my latest guy of the latest guys. So I have Uzo on my list as well. He has range. He can do a lot of things. Hopefully, he doesn't get stuck on doing one thing because people think he's just very good at that one because he's very good at a lot of roles. So yeah, that's my list. That's Ramsey, Latif, Pete, Osu, KJ, Uzo, Blossom. Yeah, that's my main list for now.
Wow, wow, wow. An exhaustive list. You finish it to finish it to Mildred has asked, what makes one a good actor is my question first before I start mentioning my crushes willy-nilly. So this is the thing for me. When we're talking about stars, it's almost different. I think there's a different quality for stars, and we're still talking about like the best of the stars, like the people who know the work and all of that too. But I think stars usually bring something a little different because I think there's something slightly different. That aura has got to be there in abundance. But I'm sure we'll we'll all of these names that were coming up, we'll start seeing the similarities between themselves. All right. So, Elizabeth, do you want to tell us some of your? But by the way, I've heard some names. I'm going to be fighting. I'm just putting out there. We're going to fight in a bit, but let everybody have their say at this point. Elizabeth, please tell us some of your best male Nollywood stars.
So, best male Nollywood stars. So, just like last week, I'm going to say that if anyone is a star, whether they got there by chance or by their beauty or by their range, they deserve it. Okay? And if they scammed their way, they also deserve it. So, as a star, my best, that is star, oh, they are very popular, right? That's what I'm guessing. And which has already made this list quite sort of like slim fitted my list, because the people that I think were like really, really good, they're not exactly stars. So we're just going to limit it to stars for now. So my best I would start with Olu Jacobs. And honestly, I'm gonna tell you, is the physicality of Olu Jacobs. That man, first time I saw him on screen, he just had this presence. He just had this presence that stuck with me for a very long time. And I think that's why I have there is this image of him that I have that I sort of visually try to see in other actors that has not exactly been replicated. Of course, it does come off as that he has stage training, obviously. Again, maybe because of the physicality, but it does carry emotions well physically better than there's a particular actress we tried to talk people were trying to talk about last week who sort of wants to do this um um understated acting, right? And it ends up coming off as performative and more stoic and less emotive, and which just doesn't make the performance great. But that's the opposite of Olu Jacobs. I feel like Olu Jacobs does this stoic, um, this understated acting. If I mean, when he's in the mood, of course, not when not when he's doing cheaper by the dozen films. But I would say naturally, talent, skill. I would say Olu Jacob. Second on my list would be Femi Adebayo, and this doesn't come easy because there was a time I thought Femi Adebayo just, he just acts, does his job and go home. But watching him recently in most of the films he's had, and he's managed to play um several roles. So this is talking about range. In that Femi can be a very funny person. It can be menacing, and it can be a fighter. It is shown more range in the recent years, at least with his work, that I think puts him in one of those. Well, this is a star. He's popular, but it doesn't joke with his craft, right? It's not going. Oh, I'm established, so I might just act the same character in multiple places. So that's what makes Femi Jacobs. In fact, the fact that when I was watching Finding Me, that film from 2 weeks or 3 weeks or wherever ago that we watched, it was the only character that made me laugh. And I think it was also the only character that maybe believed he was acting in that film. Every other person was, coasting around, and he took his job serious. And that's what I feel like he should have, that kind of discipline, that even if the script the script is unserious, you should take your craft seriously. So that works for me. The third person would be Femi Branch. So maybe not versatility now for Femi Branch. Sorry, yes, Femi Branch. Is that not his name? Yes, yeah, that guy from Domino's. Yeah. Again, we've seen him, um, move from TV to film. Now, what I'm not even so sure is he a star? I would say by now that he should be. Sorry, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But for Femi Branch, he often plays the bad guy, and I don't mean just bad guy, like wicked person. Is always acting like the wicked person. So I feel like he's really mastered it. If I see him on the screen, I expect him to just be a bad wicked person, like straight up. And when he acts not the wicked person, I'm always so shocked because again, that's what I'm expecting. And maybe because um I've reconciled this physicality of him to that person. But somehow there's an authenticity in how he emotes, right? He's crying and you really believe it. I'm like, okay, I believe you, but I was really expecting you to be wicked. I really like that. So I think Femi Branch for me. My list is not going to be a lot. Then Ramsey Noam is coming this time because Olana has mentioned him. I really liked Ramsey. Can't remember the last time I saw him. First time I saw him. Um, can't remember. I think I used to remember the title. Either that film, a nice for film, or either. Anyways, point is, when I first saw him, he was actually not acting rich lover boy. He was always acting maybe rich kid who becomes wayward. Yeah, there was one film with Binabo Februarissima. Keep forgetting that film. I think it was 94. I can't remember. But his performance for me was from Silent Night. And there was something about that performance that stayed with me. And I watched it recently to be sure that, it wasn't a fluke, what I thought I saw. And it was one of those performances that felt really raw. I mean, Ramsey has grown in his crafts and even in the industry. And we've also seen him do cheaper by the dozen films. But Ramsey, when is Ramsey, you know that this is somebody who also respects the craft. He tries to experiment with whatever he did. I don't maybe it doesn't work all the time. But is willing to put his back into I just never seen him in a comedy. So that's why, for range, I've I've seen him in comedy adjacent. Should I put that like he has comedic timing in some funny films where he's acting like the poor bloke or something. But that's it for him. I will also say there's another person rummaging through my brain. I don't think Shengu Arinze is nah, I can't call him, unfortunately. I wanted to say Zakoji, then I remember that I've not really seen him in a lot of in quotes range. Should I use that word? For the new school, you guys might not believe this, so for the new school, you guys might not believe this, but who is this guy? This guy that is sorry, I keep who was that guy that did hair transplants?
No, no.
Wait,
Ik
You
Ogbuna.
are going to say no, but
Ik
I am going to
Ogbuna.
ik, don't call him with
and
I
K.
Bona.
honest yes, I cook butter. So I don't know if he's a star, but I saw him in one movie and I realized that I've seen him show range in quotes. I thought it was really bad. It was one of those really bad actors for a while that I really do not want to see in films. But I saw like a couple of films from him maybe some 2-3 years ago. There was one showing range and then another one. It was funny. Like it was a comic relief year, and I thought it was funny, and it was like physical comedy, which is another thing that I think a lot of people can't, get having that comedic timing. And I really think you are a good actor to a certain degree if you can make people laugh without it just coming off as you reading a script or without effect helping you. So again, don't take my word for it exactly, but I think that is one person that I feel like is good. And if he has like maybe better, if he has like more mainstream projects better. I think he can even direct himself at this point. But yeah, that's my list for now. Thank you. Throw in Latif somewhere there, but yeah.
Wow. It's my fault, Sha, because I said male Nollywood stars. I did not differentiate between Iroko Nollywood, YouTube Nollywood, that some Elizabeth mentioned Ik Ogbonna.
Speak even on
And now, that's why I said, is he a star or not?
Iroko TV star, maybe. We have not known his name in our. When was the last time he was on on any of our films list, if ever?
You guys, star is star. Star is star. As long as enough people know them, star.
Iroko star. I said it's my fault. That's I did not specify, so I allow it. All right, Mrs. C.
hello.
What's your the best stars meal?
Best stars meal. All right. Okay, let's go. For the classics, I'm gonna go in Kim Owo. I don't think I need to expand. Modern, I'm going Uzo Arukwe. Again, please God, don't let them typecast him into this Achalugo thing because my guy does have range. And I need them to use it. He does comedic, he does serious, he has range, they need to use it. Kelechi Udegbe, I'm going to ignore his little clown monologue on YouTube. He's
Is he a star though?
Joker, sorry,
Is he a
Joker.
star? He probably be underrated.
Is Kelechi a star or is he underrated?
He's definitely
Underrated.
All right, so I'm gonna move him to underrated. And then the last one, people should not fight me, DME. Sorry.
Oh my God, I thought it was just going to be me.
Don't fight me, DME.
Okay.
I'm going.
DM is valid. That's valid.
Yeah, and then I have one more. This is I have a touch and go section, and Gabriel Afolayan is on my touch and go because he used to be good, and then things have gone a little downhill. And I don't know if maybe with a good director it can come uphill again. But the talent is there.
That's legit.
The talent is there. It's inside. It's just don't used to come out often. Stan there as well. It used to be good. Things have gone downhill. The talent is inside. Somebody needs to bring it out. And this one is I'm throwing this out there. Toby Bakari. Again, I think the talent is inside because we have seen it. But somebody needs to bring it outside.
Yeah. I thought it was good in Brotherhood.
Yes, he was.
Yes.
Somebody needs to bring the talent outside. He's there.
Yeah.
Yes, because normally if he didn't date, it will never come out. But if it has come out, then it's there.
Yeah. That if it didn't date is in the next list, probably. But all right. Okay, so we had Brian, you have joined us. Do you have a list for your best? Please also if you have any comments and you have your own list, give it to us. We'll read it out.
Okay, how are you?
We are good. Thanks, Brian.
Okay, my list for the new guys, I like Chimezie and the Stans, but I'm not really a fan of the new guys that much. I prefer the classic guys. So my top 5, disclaimer, 2 of my top 5 are now late. My number 1 Justice is Siri. I don't know if you guys remember him. Can you hear me?
Yes, God.
It's not going to be. Go ahead.
It's not going to be that kind of interaction. Maybe look for emojis, but we're hearing you. You just go ahead.
Okay. There's KOK. Nice sacrifice. There's an actor I also like, Bimbo Manuel. There's Sam Dede, and there's Zulu Adigwe. Those are my 5 favorite guys.
What a list! That's such a superb list, actually. A really, really superb list. I agree with a lot of those guys, and those guys were definitely stars, at least at one point or the other for me anyway. But yeah, thank you, Brian.
Okay.
Lohi, do you want to give us your best male Nollywood stars.
Okay, so my favorite is Nkemo. I think he's just legendary. He's iconic. Everybody knows him. People dress up as him, like on Halloween and stuff like that. So Nkemo is my number one, most definitely. I also really like Bimbo Manuel. I don't know if you can classify him as a star, but Bimbo Manuel is also. So I think even in things that I don't like him in, and also that's the same thing with Nkemo. Even in things that I don't necessarily like, they are like the bright spark in those things. Like it's really enjoying was it Castle and Castle, one of those shows, and
Is it Elizabeth breaking for other people?
Okay, yeah, I think the rest I'll put them for underrated. So yeah, Bimbo Mano, Nkemowo, and Kepi Epeyon.
Oh, okay, Kepi Epeyon. All right. Thank you, Lohi. That's also a very fine list. A lot of people have said a lot of good names, and thankfully, because I think I missed some, but I'm going to go through my one. And like many people have said, a lot of their list is from the old. Dayemi is the only person who makes it from sort of the new age in my list. I have KOK, I have Chiweta Luago, I have RMD. I have the three Femis. For me, all the three Femis are legit. Femi Adebayo, Femi Branch, and who's the third Femi?
Sorry, Femi Jacobs is on my underrated list. You guys think that
Jacobs
is a star?
Yes, well, okay, Femi Jacobs is okay.
I think he's underrated.
Okay, I think that's also legit. Okay, that's legit. Yes, that I think that works too. But they're just they're in so much. They're in a lot. Femi Jacobs is in a lot. But I understand why somebody might not think star, but I think he's in a lot enough to be called a star, to be honest. Especially he's still doing a lot of work in the modern Nollywood. But the three Femis for me, they'll get a very solid mention, and people have already mentioned one of them to some degree. The only person I guess on my list that hasn't been mentioned, I think Chiweta Luago and KOK have been mentioned, right? I also have RMD on here, but the one person that hasn't been mentioned for me is Akin Lewis. I think the guy is a star. I think that guy has so much presence and aura. That guy is actually super magnetic on the screen. You guys need to watch that guy do a scene. He's the only person who, and I guess it helps with the role, who ate our Oba during King of Boys. So and like that's one of my favorite scenes in
I think the conflict is he a star though?
Akin Lewis. If you cannot take away Akin star. I'm sorry, you will not take away my man's star. He's a star. Akin Lewis he's been doing it for some time. I know, like I'm sure he's been doing it in the Yoruba films for some time as well in Yoruba Wood, but
Yeah.
but even in Nollywood, at least for the last few, he's had a lot of key supporting roles that he's played, and I think he's certainly one of the bigger names in terms of chiefs. If you're talking about chiefs, Akin Lewis' name needs to be involved. We can't talk about the other people in New Nollywood and not call Akin Lewis. I don't think. I don't think that would be fair. So he has to be a star. If he's not a star, then no. There's no other person from New Nollywood that is a star, as far as I'm concerned. So Akin Lewis is the other guy for me. But it's interesting that a bunch of the people we are trying to recognize as best, there might be small debates about them, but we'll get onto that later on. But let us switch to the bad side of this. Let's see. Let's see if the people who you think that stars that you think is more by crook and by hook that they have made it on here, and they're some of the worst performing. Or maybe you don't even think they're bad, but in terms of all of the stars, they're the ones at the bottom of the list. All right. Let's start with Alana. Do you want to?
My first chair has gone. Oh wow.
What do you say? Who?
I said my first chair has gone. I thought it was I didn't see. I just checked and realized that it has gone. God. So um my worst list. You guys said stars. So normally I would have started with virtually everybody on YouTube. Not all of them, of course, but like 90% of them and their stars. But let me leave those children first and go to my OG. He made it by crook. My OG, he made it by crook. Sorry to everyone involved, but Emeka Ike, God bless him. Uh
You stole my list.
hey, I say I had to go back to start watching old Nollywood to confirm, because even as a child, I knew that this guy was playing us, was running us straight on TV. As a child, I was 9 years old, saying to myself, "This guy knows Sabi walk." So I came back decades later to confirm that this guy knows Sabi walk, and to the glory of God, I was not brought to shame. I don't know how this guy made it. I heard people saying that he's a fine boy. I'm not sure the face card was legal enough for that career, but to God be the glory. Like, ah, see, people don't run us streets for this industry, but you see that guy, that was my original, the first. I don't even think I have another person on my list if it's not that guy. I have scores to settle. That's my number one. Everybody else, the reason why they came into limelight is because they first of all started with that guy. He opened the door for other people. My second on the list, to God be the glory. I love him. Oh. I still go back and I watch him and I still love him. But not so Diobi, I don't know. Maybe it's because of these Indian things he started doing when he came back. But it's like, Oga, Oga, like I watched the only thing that I watched the older movies and he was, he got by, he was okay, but these new ones, I'm seeing another thing. Who else will I see? Most of the people that are on this my worst list, they're actually my YouTube babies because I've been through a lot with them. I don't want to mention them because some of them are still children and they are too young for their careers to be put on a pedestal like that. But they are quite, they have fans. They have a lot of very loud fans that will swear that they are going to win Oscars at some point in their careers. But it's not looking good. It's really not looking good. I mean, everybody knows this guy, so let me not mention their names. They are still young. With time, maybe they will do better. But yeah, I think the two people I have the most grouse against, mainly Emeki Ike, honestly. Anybody else is just is just an offshoot of whatever he did. God bless.
Wow, wow, wow. I would like to buttress Nonso Diobi. That's the guy. Every time he was on screen, whether I was playing the good guy or bad guy, I was rooting against him. I never wanted him to succeed. I just found him annoying. And which is almost like the opposite of what a star is supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to, star is the guy, is the person who you're supposed to want to root for, regardless of what side they're on. And he just didn't have it for me. And I kept on seeing him on the screens. Like, why do you keep on putting Nonso Diobi on my screen? I don't like him. But God
See,
bless him.
there was this movie he acted with Ramsey Noah, that he was Ramsey Noah's brother. And Ramsey Noah was like this tough guy and he was just a softy kind of guy. Every time I think of that movie, like the positioning of two of them was always so funny to me. I'm sorry, but God bless him.
Imagine Nonsense trying to. This is like Van Vika. Van Vika and Ramsey. Anyway,
Yes,
all
I
right.
was Van Vika was going to be on my watch list, but you guys said Gollywood doesn't count. So yeah.
Van Vika has done enough Nollywood to be present. Van Vika has done enough
On my
Nollywood to
list, if
present.
you can count, because he was the first person from last week Monday was the only person I was just thinking about. Like this boy use yellow distract everybody. This one,
Well,
Sabi.
he used
But God bless
Ramsey
him.
Noah. Everybody was calling Ghana Ramsey.
Ghanaian, he used Ramsey tax to run us streets because God, his acting was like a notch better than all those Lebanese people that Nollywood used to pass off as white.
Okay, all right. The violence has begun. All right. Elizabeth, do you want to tell us some of the people who
Yes. I'm your honest to my list, but I will still retreat. Emeka Ike, guys. Emeka Ike has never been able to act since I started watching him on screen. In fact, I think recently, I even went back to some of the old films. There were some films that he tried to scam his way, but I promise you, the bad outweighs the good. Emeka Ike, I'm not so sure if he is seducing the audience or if he's trying to convince himself. Like if you're an actor and you feel the need to convince the audience that you're acting, then you're probably not acting. So maybe you should actually focus on the acting. Anyways, Emeka Ike number one. And the beef didn't start today. The beef has been there a very long time. So Emeka Ike number one. Number two will be Ali Nuhu. Ali Nuhu, Ali Nuhu, Ali Nuhu. Ali Nuhu. This is another person who scammed his way into being a star from uh, Kannywood.
you
And
told
he had that, and he had the Kannywood tax, right? Because this nigga came as far the most popular. And look, he scammed his way by being the fine boy, which I can never have beef with. If you scam your way as a fine person into being a star, you deserve it, please, because the beauty will not serve itself. You are doing public service by putting your beauty in front of a camera and serving the world. Yes, you deserve to be a star, but oh my gosh, shitty actor, number one. Like sometimes you be like, when you're watching him, you feel yourself forcing. You know how you are driving, if you're driving beside somebody that is driving reckless and you're matching a brake, imaginary brake, so that they can step on brake. That's how it feels when you're watching, and you're like you're pushing him like you can do it. A little bit more energy, more emotion. Do it. Alino cannot act. The third person for me would be is I mean, I'm sure there's somebody that has him on their list somewhere. I love him, but I really cannot understand him. Sentobi. Sentobi, I like you a lot, but that acting, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's his height because sometimes I'm like, maybe if he was a little bit shorter. Sentobi, maybe he was a little bit skinnier. Maybe if he wasn't speaking in that Americana
Now
wannabe
aura,
accent.
use aura.
Now aura ain't thick. I'm telling you because Sentobi in what's that film? State of Emergency. It was so
State of
bad. That film is so
emergency.
bad. Don't watch it again, guys. Don't give in to nostalgia. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
leave him
Don't do it.
alone? Leave Stain to be alone. He's my guy
I
from
cannot.
Deadly Proposal. That
Oh
he
my God, it's my guy. Even that film, go. Even that film, like when it even comes to romance, you're like, yeah, a little bit. Turn it down a bit. It's not good. The other person who is not good, we really should be number one, or even share stage with Emeka Ike. Is Ayomakun. Ayo Makun cannot act and is the only comedian that does not know how to act. I mean, when
Even the
comedians
comedy,
like
no sabi.
that's the point. That's what I was going to like. So I've said like I feel like if you're really good at comedy, you can. It's easier for you um to break into acting because getting people to laugh is a skill Not for Ayamakon, it lacks either, but it deserves his success 100%. If the success is by crook or by whatever, he deserves it. And all of you deserve it for watching all the numerous 10 days in one strange city and Merry Men 17. You all deserve to be scammed.
Please, it's
And I
RNB
blame
and
you
Ramsey
for
that brought us. Let's be
Ayomakon's
guided.
career. Yes, I blame them. And that's why I refuse to even put RMD on my list because the beef is eternal. Anyways, so for now, for the new school, I'll really go easy on them because I know they see them. I don't even like give you. I know they see them. I would have said number one worst actor. Let me even start this way. So after watching Sugar, the good one, what's that Sugar? This Sugar with these kids, Tamira Tegbe set. I thought they were all really good. I mean, just shortly after that, I think some of the guys went on to act Kasala. Again, I thought the world is their oyster. I don't know what happened to the oyster of the world, but I'll tell you one thing. Abayomi Alvin shouldn't have happened, but he happened and he deserves it because he's a fine boy. He's sharing his beauty with the world. I don't watch his kids because I think they're nasty. Anyways, point is one of those. It was the only one that was also struggling acting wise on that show. So little wonder that is struggling acting wise now. I expected it anyways. If he had grown, I would have been too, of course, it bad eater. But the point is, Abayomi Avin is not good. In the news, I don't call. You see the YouTube people. I will not mention anybody's name because I don't even think they're good. I would they do. So yeah, whatever stardom they are enjoying over there, they deserve it. But I doubt that I see them breaking into mainstream Nollywood.
Please,
Thanks
not
for coming to my
Michael.
TED
Thank
Talk.
you. No, no,
Who
Michael
is that?
Dapper. Michael
Oh, I
Dapper.
don't. I hope he does not. Fingers crossed.
He's
I'm gonna
already
go.
coming. Don't worry. He's
It
on.
will
He's
not
in
come
the cinema
anywhere
right
in
now.
Jesus' mighty name. It will
He's
not
in the
happen with
cinema
that
right now. Don't
darling on
worry.
his hair. With that darling
They are
yaki.
coming.
It will not happen. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thanks, Elizabeth. All right. Okay. All right, Brian. Please, can you give us your list of the stars? I'm surprised. AY's names is just been mentioned, even though we're on the second, just on the second person. But you can share a list with us, and we'll read them out. Brian, please tell us some of you think the stars that don't perform well. Brian, you're mute too.
Okay. Okay. My top of my list, I have to apologize. Sorry, Mr. Ibu. I I didn't get him. I tried to this. Sorry, sorry. May he rest in peace. But I did not enjoy his work. There's Mike Ezuruonye. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. It's also not good. Zubi Michael. Uh, then Alex Ekubo and Frederick Leonard. Those are my five worst actors.
Oh, Alex Akuba made this list. Interesting. Me, I like, see, I know Mr. Ibu gets a lot of flack, but me, I defend Mr. Ibu. I thought Mr. Ibu was great at what Mr. Ibu did. But yeah, I hear you. Some people don't like him, but that's okay. All right, thanks, Brian. Lohi, do you want to give us your list of not greats?
Okay, there was that era of Nollywood where like people were just posting an Aura family. There was that era where like Mr. Nigerians, Mr. Nigerian winners were entering Nollywood and half of them could not act. Like Brian Okwara attempting to act was just, what was that about? Like he was not good. Emmanuel Ikubese was probably maybe the best amongst them, but even then, man, Kenneth Okuli, man. So I don't really think the Mr. Nigeria guys they could really act. And then I also think a lot of our action actors back in the day, they were just relying on aura. I'm sorry, Hansanuku could not act for any, like he cannot act. I watched Django, I be King of Jungle which day, and I was just like, how did I watch this when I was younger? Cannot act. Gentle Jack cannot act. Benedict Johnson cannot act. They're just using aura and body and all those things to kind of like scam people. They cannot act. I think Ike Ogbonna is not good. Like there was this film I watched back when I was in uni on like Europe. I think it was something about Ikogosi. They went to the Gosi. He was really bad in that. I think Ike Ogbonna is not a good actor. I think Eddie Watson is not a good actor. This one he's not a star, but I just want to really mention him because those his films used to really annoy me. He's from Sierra Leone, but he used to act a couple of Nollywood films. I don't know if anyone knows Maurice Sese. Not good. Like not I will never forget some of the films he has made that he acted in, and I was just like, what is this? So yeah, most of my list is those early 2000s, 2010s guys are just not good. Yeah, Frederick Leonard, not good. Musa Rex, not really good. Yeah, that's my list.
Wow. All right. Thanks, Lehi. Mrs. C, what is your list of not good?
Okay.
The bad stars.
So I have a grouping.
Wait. There's overrated. We're still going to do overrated. So group manage your list accordingly.
See, me, I feel like bad and overrated are almost top. Let me do my bad. There's a group, I don't know the years, but them Emeka Ike, Mike Ezurunye, Nonso Obi, Van Vika, Michelle Majid, plus others, add your own.
Somebody said not too much about Michelle.
A certain group of these young men at the time that dabarooed everybody. It didn't do. But it is what it is. Who else? As you have said, is now bad, not just overrated.
You can just keep that for bad. If you have overrated, we discuss overrated next soon.
But this cannot be the only bad actors I have.
Bad stars. Some of them may not be stars.
I'll save the rest of them for overrated. I'm going to give you Sodiki. They keep one face. Yes. I'm remembering this film we watched. It was on YouTube, Christmas on a Budget. He spent the whole film with his shoulder up, going mother, father, and it felt like it was in a different film from everybody. Like it was the only person that did not know which film he was in. It was giving old village film Prince, but they were modern days rich family trying to have Christmas on a budget. I was stressed. But yes, SODK. I don't know about Stasha, but all you lovers of what's it called now? Men's Club, the Men's Club. Ayola is a beautiful man. Ayola have aura, but it didn't do like that.
Wow, that sounds like overrated. That's not like you're doing overrated.
Okay, now. I'm doing overrated. Am I doing overrated?
You sound like you're doing an overrated.
All right.
It didn't do like that.
All right, let me save it for overrated then. Let me save it because it did small, but it didn't do like that.
Oh, okay. That's expo on to Mrs. C's very toxic looking overrated list. A problematic list is coming.
Very basic. It's
all right. Okay. All right. Because I think my overrated, my last overrated list in the female list caused an aneurysm for some people. We'll try and avoid that, but I don't think it's possible given what it is. But I have a few on my list. I think everybody might have said the ones on my bad, because I have two on my bad. They've been mentioned, and that's AY and Ali Nuhu. Those are the two. You forgot Ali.
But I love him. I love how bad he is. It's so fun.
I have learned to love. I have learned to love Ali Nuhu. I mean, like,
Every lack of expression,
I can't,
every lack of inflection, it delights me.
I can't actually believe how much you guys were bamboozled by Ali Nuhu's beauty. Do you know what? It is because no, maybe it's because it's me, and maybe it's because I'm just a guy. I did not know it was fine. Right. So I was so confused for so long until people now started saying he's fine. And then I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Because if left alone for acting, you guys, there's in it's not like he was the only bad part in Amina, but in Amina, his babe just lost her sister, and she's dying. And you need to see Ali Nuhu's face whilst his babe's sister is dying. It's just he don't care. It's just like, can you finish doing your crying so that we can go to the next scene? It's just he has such an empty look. It just doesn't look like somebody. Sometimes I use. I think especially last week, and given a film I saw, I probably owe Nancy an apology for putting her in the bad because she gave me a really good performance from last week. Maybe I would have moved her up to overrated, just based on that performance I saw. But usually what I say to explain how bad some people's performances can be is that if you just pluck somebody from the street, that is what they would do as acting. All these overly, trying to emphasize everything. Ali Nuhu doesn't even do that. Ali Nuhu is like, if you pick somebody who doesn't watch any films at all from the street to,
He's so flat.
he's just so flat. And I remember
You
last
guys
week,
hear me out. His Kannywood stuff is better. Hear me out.
there's no hair, there's no shot.
Look, on the streets will give you more expression.
You know what? I should have added this to when I was because now this is going to just seem like I'm doing post. I'm trying to rewrite my Nancy. Adding Nancy to my list. Last week when I added Nancy to my list in the bad, it's because Nancy tries a lot of things that just never work. In fact, sometimes they're in direct contradiction to what the character is supposed to be. It's almost feel like it's like anti acting. It's just picking, but she does try stuff that is not just straight up from it. It doesn't feel lazy. It doesn't feel like it feels like there's something there. It's just shooting everywhere in whichever direction. And I guess once she might shoot in the right direction and it really hits. I'm assuming that's what happened for me last week. But this thing you're saying about Ali Nuhu and Kannywood, that there's no way the person I've seen there's no way the person from Amina, there's no way the person I've seen even in a film I liked him in, The Trade. Just he doesn't give more than, he doesn't get out of gear 1, or he's just just 0.5. That's where my guy lives. He lives in the half gear. And I can't believe he does anything better. And then, so that's for Ali. AY, we all know AY. He's a star, definitely a star. I've never seen. So somebody mentioned that yes, it should be easy to try. It should be easy given you pick the right role to translate from stand-up, because stand-up comedy at its highest form is an act. You are acting out. That's why it's called an act. Actually, you are acting out there. A lot of times you're playing characters in there. You're emphasizing things. You're doing one-man storytelling. But because AY, to be honest, wasn't really funny in the first place, that's why the acting does not really translate like that. So, but it has not stopped him from making. And not she did, to be honest, because he's still making money. So go ahead, if you're still making money, do what you do for the people that like what you're making. But those two, in terms of bad, that's where I'm stopping for my bad. Now we can still have overrated. What?
I forgot one. This is just a shout out to YouTube, although I came across him first in Blood Sisters. The guy that played Razor Blade in Blood
Is
Sisters.
he a star?
Yeah,
Oh,
on YouTube,
okay,
yes.
okay,
Maurice
he's-
Sam, he says star.
Morrison. He
It's
didn't
star.
dare. Oh. He didn't dare. I'm sorry. He didn't dare.
Do you watch
It do not dare.
Wait, do you watch?
I've seen some clips from you. It didn't
So you're
dare.
judging Morris on clips?
It didn't dare.
Okay, alright. Okay. All right.
Oh, and this one more guy, that Pretty Woman YouTube, this thing. The guy that did the love interest in Pretty Woman, YouTube's Pretty Woman. That he picked up that
Ray
lady.
Adeka.
Yes.
Who is that?
He's big on YouTube. We saw that film, baby. We saw that.
So I said because I did not add YouTube, I did not put Nollywood. I did not emphasize that we're talking about
Isha
Nollywood.
is star.
Why didn't we have this problem? Why didn't we have this problem with the females? Why
We did, though. We did.
Where we were going into YouTube to dig out stars, we did not have this problem.
Dig out. Every time I see cinematics or I see people talking about film on the tier, these people are there. He's a star. They know him. He didn't dare. He does not dare.
He's actually a star. As far as I'm concerned, if you can walk down a street in a lot of countries in Africa, people recognize you. Yes, star. No,
I won't even recognize him.
You will.
People will recognize him for him to be a star. He's famous in Barbados. He's famous in Trinidad. He's famous.
Okay. All right. Let's head to overrated. Overrated is different. Overrated is, do you think it's possible this person might be even okay, or maybe he's even good, but the way people are seeing him, the way people speak about him is higher than, you feel like change remain. You should be collecting change. Collect your change. Alana, start us off.
Please, if I start, they will ban my accounts here because it's only one person's name that is ringing in my head. So if someone else can collect,
strong your chest.
No, I need more names because I know there are more of them.
Alana, for you.
I will go.
Come and say this.
I will go.
Alana, you're the person that grabbed someone's throat last week. You're the one that grabbed.
I follow you. I will follow Elizabeth, please. Elizabeth, take question.
Me, I want to say, because the names that I feel are overrated for me, I will start with RMD. Aru Emudi. You guys is good when he's not also speaking accents like Nseng Petin, right? When he's not, I feel like when he's in his either Wafi or like, look at when we watch Diamond Ring again, guys. So I feel like he's lost who that person was. I don't think I've seen the Diamond Ring performance in recent years from him. Not even the first truly global film. I didn't see it in there. And when we watched Diamond Ring again, it was like, okay, yeah, true. This person used to grace our screen before we started seeing him in all those romance films, and they started doing all those cheaper by the dozen. There was something about him, at least acting wise, right? I think it deserves everything as far, it was that thespian. It was really good in Out of Bounds too. He's a fine man. He's tall. He's had this aura and charisma even before it became like a film thing. Like, there was always gist about him and his wife before she died in gossip mags back then. So it was like this aura farming thing before it's translated to screen. But I think it's the lack of not having somebody like him. Like, because we don't have so many of that, and that's why I feel like it's just that one single star that we are holding on to. Like, it's like the only salt and pepper, big man that we have, and so we are holding on to him so tightly. Like, release this guy now. I'm sure he knows that he's fine. I'm sure he knows he's a star, but is it really, like, if we put it like acting wise, with all the films, especially all this Ayomaku, not one single. I think there was a day we were talking about our best films, and almost every single film that was listed that was bad. RMD was in like 9 out of 10. I don't know, guys. Like, I don't know if that's a special skill also. But I think for me, I think it's just can we drop it a bit? Yeah, thank you. I still have list too, but I'll come back.
Again, just to scatter table. Mention RMD. Oh my gosh. Okay, so even I know in the first really global film, I actually agree with you that I don't think he was great there, but I think that's a director problem, a strong director problem there. But yeah, I don't know. I still think RMD has a lot going for him. To be honest, I think there's a reason why the guy is where he is. And honestly, I would like to be a hater but like every time, when I look at something like Fine Wine and the way people like Fine Wine, it's like it can only be
Be
RMD
careful.
and
Be careful
that
there.
babe.
Be careful.
That's what I'm saying. You guys like it can only be RM because it clearly wasn't Incel, right? That made you guys like that film. It was not the right thing, so it had to be RMG. So RMG is carrying something for me that is holding you poo poo well, and fair play to him. But
I'm going to say there's aura, there's a bit of past glory. We're riding on a bit of past
past
glory.
glory.
But there's definitely aura. The aura do day. And the talent do day inside. And it just depends on the director and the
Yeah.
circumstance. Because like Christmas in Lagos, when he was playing that rich waffy guy, when he was playing the rich waffy guy and he could just speak pidgin and be his waffy self, it was great. I loved it.
I agree.
So yeah, it depends on what you're trying to make him do, to be honest, and director.
Especially as a star, that like stars stars and like the highest form of talent don't often go together anyway, because like star is a little different. There's a little different grouping for you guys. But anyway, Anna, you
ready?
Have you grown some liver? Do you want another person to go again?
see. Nobody have ever died of insult. So let me just tell you for the truth. You see, I'm doing this not just for myself but for Vanessa as well, because I know that she would also do this. Nollywood bad boy. Brad's the meaning of the most high.
Oh.
Ogao.
Why do you dilly dally on this? If he did like 7 people list here.
Hey, gotta beg. See, the truth about Nollywood bad boy is that it's not like he doesn't have his moments, because Overrated now is that okay, they've had moments, but in general, it's not where the people are shouting that it is. It's not there, you know. If you notice that a lot of people who want to defend Nollywood bad boys acting, I'm sorry, excuse me, a lot of people want to defend his acting. They start bringing up very new words and new definitions of different words so that they can justify that he's more exceptional than he is. Then they start separating things, and then they write theses as say at a CPHD analysis if you have to explain somebody's talent so much, then I'm not sure it's there the way you think it's there. He's had good performances. Personally, like I kept saying, I really loved him in Tribe Called Judah because he wasn't playing himself in Tribe Called Judah. He was so good there, and I wish they'll probably give him more of those roles. I saw him in Sugar as well, and he was also good in Sugar. And then I don't know what happened along the line. Some people say he was good in Elevator Baby. Elevator Baby is a fever dream to me. I'm not sure I remember what happened in that movie, so I don't argue with that because I don't know what the performance was like there. But for the most part, it's not giving what they are saying is giving. I regret. Like, I go just dey see things. I already see, oh my goodness, best flex. Excuse me? Like, where are the standards? Oh my goodness. There's no way. It's that particular line annoys me. And then when you start saying no, can't be the best flirt, you will now start saying there's difference between a flirter and somebody that romance. There's difference between flirting and yearning. This one is good in yearning. This one is not good. This one is just so different. Like, please, if you're this is not it's not the best, obviously. it's not the best. So I the entire argument a lot of times I just leave it because if you start now, association of now Alex Ekubo first get wives association for Nollywood, but even in wives if people like say those ones don't go marry other people, they know they defend and reach as Timini wives they defend them. Timini get wife pass Alex Ekubo. If I say lose all in wives to Timini, I don't even understand because people are getting away with calling Alex Ekubo bad actor. But if you just mention that bad boy is not bad boying, they will want to kill you. Like God I beg. It's just he's good though. He's good when he wants to be good. And like sometimes I watch some of his performances, even the YouTube that some people have been saying that he reduced himself. Abi what to go and be playing YouTube. He has some good performances. I don't know why they're saying that he reduced himself, but he has some good performances on YouTube. So it's it's something that as far as I'm concerned he has his moments, and he has the whole swag thing going on for him. Another person now aura farming now he use elevate himself, but to God be the glory. He has worked hard for it. He deserves. He's just not the guy they are telling us that he is, and the market is sellable, but I'm not going to buy it. To God be the glory. Another person, Zubi. Zubi is overrated because I just don't want to put Zubi as bad because Zubi has his moments. I'm sure if you give him like when Zubi is playing all this his bad guy Aboroish kind of role, he's good enough in it. But if you tell Zubi to go beyond being an Aboro, I don't know that thing he did in Onyegu. To God be his glory. Oh. I hope that he went for confession and he continues to go for confession and pray to the Lord to forgive him for what he did in Onyego because whoa. But he's loved. People love him. He's a very vibrant guy. He's a fun guy. To me, he's overrated. There's another person. Um, what's his name? Wale. Is it Wale Ojo? I confuse him with Wale Ojo a lot of times because names but I think it's Wale Ojo. That's the older one. The one they get the man in a Christmas in Lagos. Ah, he's good though. I'm not saying he's not good. Like I like him in penny performance. Should I even put him under overrated? I'm not sure. Let me remove him. He's not on my list. Let me just leave it as the because let me just leave it as what's their name safe.
You feel like you've
Timini
patterned
and
everything, huh?
eh?
You've
Because
patterned off
sometimes I
it,
feel like
man.
whatever that Shafi Bello was accused of last week, maybe sometimes he does it too. But yeah, let me just leave
Okay.
those two people.
No, while I can leave Wale Ojo, I will pick him up and put him on my list. Anybody that knows me knows that he was always going to go into this list because I don't know what people saw in that breath of life. I not only thought it wasn't good, I thought it was actively bad in I think it's actively bad in a lot of performances. And it was one shot actually that made me go, if not for one shot I saw recently with him inside, I would have put him in bad and you would have cried. It's only cry people will cry. It's only cry people will cry because I don't know. I want to watch even phone swap. I don't. He's always overdoing. He overdoes. He overdoes. He's going to be on my list. I'm just giving you a teaser. Enjoy it. Yeah, people on my list too will make you guys cry. Don't worry, it's coming. All right. Anyway, Elizabeth, do you have more for us? Elizabeth, if you don't have more for us, we'll go to Louis.
No, I don't think I mean for people who are stars, I think they deserve their stardom. except for the person I say is overrated, but I think everybody's just rated just fine.
Okay, all right. Lehi, do you want to tell us some of the people who think are overrated?
Honestly, like I feel I agree with Elizabeth. Everyone has mentioned they've mentioned Timini, they've mentioned who else. Yeah, apart from that, I can't really think of anybody else. Okay, there's somebody, but I don't know if I can mention the person. Maybe when it comes. Hmm. So I really, I really used to like Daniel Esimefeong. I loved him as Folarin in. I loved him as Folarin in Giddy Up. That's probably my favorite performance of him. I don't know. Of recent, I just haven't been feeling him. I don't know if I'll call him overrated because he's quite good, but I don't know. I think that there's something about Nollywood and like our male actors that I feel we don't utilize them properly. That even when they start out well, they just fizzle out, and I don't know what can be done to change that. That's why most of the good, it was always like the OGs everybody was mentioning, and that's how I feel about like Daniel Esimefeong. I really really liked him in like his early stuff, but I'm thinking of what's that film he did with ABN or something about wedding nights. That was like I was like, come
Chemistry.
on. That
Chemistry.
one. And just some other films that I'm just like, "Ugh, I don't know about this, So maybe him, I guess, because everybody else I think is rated just fine. But yeah, maybe him, I guess. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. No problem. Brian, do you have anybody on list for overrated people that you think they might not be necessarily bad, but you think people still speak too highly of them?
I only have one, Odunlade. I don't know the other name, Odunlade,
Odolade Adekola.
somebody. Yeah, he needs to calm down a bit. He's doing too much.
Thank you.
He does too much.
He's actually on my list. Oh, on my. So how many? Wait, let me see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and people have said 2 or 1.5 because they took it back. All right. Don't worry, there's still some shocking things for for some of you on here. Okay, yes, I agree. And the only reason why he's not even on my bad list is because actually seen a few of his comedic performances that he's done in English. Actually, rate there's something there. I recognize the person who has talent that can do it, but like every time he does the Yoruba thing, he just is giving obnoxious, doing too much. Anyway, and that's for me. All right. Little Wonder, we're in the overrated section. Do you have any male actors you think is overrated that you want to share?
All right. Thank you. Actually, I was trying to think very, very deep about this, and I don't want to be too harsh. I think someone like Mike Folari, I feel like there's potential there, and he has like the ability. Let's say he has the ability, but I don't think he has acted that role that puts him in that very like high regard as some people put him. It's not necessarily like everybody has already put him on this high list or whatever, but at least I feel like he still needs to brush up one or two things for him to be like on this high ground, especially the way people rate him or the way people want him to be. Let me use that word. And I know it sounds like a broken record, but Timini, in my own opinion, is overrated. And there are a lot of explanations for it. It could be that the script that will make him act in such a way that would put him in like show him as a real serious actor, like an actor, you know. He hasn't had that script yet, or maybe that kind of script has landed his hands, but he didn't interpret the role well. I don't know, but I feel like um Timini hasn't gotten to that level, especially the sort of lists that people try to put him on. I don't think he has gotten to that level yet, unfortunately. And for whatever reason, I used to think it was typecasting before, but then I realized there are some times that producers give him roles that are different from all those rich kid, fine boy, rich kid. But he just acts like Timini. It's just like the way The Rock might be. You can call The Rock an actor, but you won't necessarily call him a good actor because The Rock is The Rock in almost every film that you see The Rock acting in. So it's almost like Timini as well. I've seen him try to act drama, And then it's just the facial expression. It's flat. You won't call him an artist, like somebody who is somebody that is an artist, like probably you can put other people like maybe Gabriela Afolayan or Kunle Remi inside, but I don't think Timini is in that level yet. But I think maybe with time, or if he adds some layers to his talent or his delivery, probably will get there. Thank you.
All right, thanks, little one. You know what? Oh God, this is this tepid defense for Timini, because I would love no more to put Timini on this list of overrated. However, the boy has shown me too many good performances. I know. I think Alan even mentioned he has put in some good performances. Sha, I don't know how many. Maybe his fans are rating him a lot. I do also.
Yes, they are. That's the issue.
Okay, okay. I do also know that a lot of people outside, his fans also don't think much of him as well. So maybe there's balance. Maybe there's balance. But anyway, I do think he has talent. He really does. I've seen him in quite a few good roles. A Tribe Called Judah is one of them. Even the film I saw most recently, where he is playing an obnoxious, spoiled brat. I think he does that part. He can do that part well. Is when you tell him to sort of be a lover. That's just it's not in him. It's very anti what his true nature is. He can't pull that off. People, we should stop doing that. This big love, this thing. I blame people that were carrying, what's his name? The name of the bread film, Bread of Life. Breaded Life. Okay. Anyway. All right. But I think Timini. I have a small soft spot for Timini because, like, also he really has given me a performance that makes me do a double take. Like, okay, all right, there really is something here. But I understand a lot of the Timini annoyance as well. To be fair, Mrs. C, overrated.
Yeah, I've just defended the first person on my list. But I stand by it. Okay. I have seen some good performances, but definitely overrated, especially in the romance thing. I've seen some people try to hype him up as a lover boy, and it's just where he does his worst work.
There's also good in Juju Stories.
Yes, when he's being a dick, it's great. Yeah. So let's lean into that and stop trying to cast him as a romantic lead.
I'm sorry, this film that we just Radio Voice. He's not even like a dick there. He's more just pathetic. He's more pathetic. Yeah. And I think he did both of those really well. Yes. And then I don't know what he did in I can't remember, A Tribe Called Judah. I felt like that was a slightly. It was a little bit of a loser, Agboro type. I don't like those are
I think the places where it tends to fall flat when they try to make him play romance, when he tries to play, I'm trying to remember this role where he thought he was playing like a come online, hey you.
Oh God, yes. Yeah. The
nerd one is the head down, lift the glasses up. I'm like, stop it. No, don't do that.
To be fair, nobody seems to know how to play nerd in Nollywood.
Oh, they try to play it and they look like they bullied a nerd in school. But exactly. Yeah. Anywho, that's Timini. I'm gonna go back to Ayola. I already said this. Ayola has aura. Ayola has presence. And I was with you when Aminu said, I am the forest, right? I am not a tree, I am the forest. I was like, yes, you are the forest. However, overrated, Mona Novix.
I agree with you. That skinny girl in transit. This is why I never got it.
Yo.
This is why I could never. Like, I don't know what you guys love about this.
It's alright. He's a beautiful man. He has presence and he has deep voice.
You now put him and Sharon Oja, and you guys were selling this thing like hot cake.
I don't know what I mean by you guys. Anyway, he's a fine man. Look. Like Elizabeth said, everybody deserves. See, everybody that you shall deserve because you have made it as a star, and he made it because he deserves. He's blessing us with his beauty and his voice, and that's valid. They should run him his check for that if he is a drum. Then, sorry, people of God, I'm gonna put Ramsey on this list. Nobody should fight me, but if you want to fight me, that's okay too. but Ramsey Noah, I think he's running on yellow and past glory. I think we're currently running on yellow and past glory.
No.
I say this because again, I'm going on currently overrated, right?
Okay.
Currently overrated. Past glory. It's just like I don't know anything recent.
Blood Sisters.
Okay. And he didn't talk.
Yeah, but that
was his best performance was when he didn't have to deliver lines. Live in bondage, get out. Get out right here, get out right here. I love you. I love you. Get out right here.
Half of living in bondage. I agree with all and
oh,
half.
My Jesus.
Half of living.
I'm just remembering him in his robe. I remember in his robe. I remember in his robe saying this is not Nollywood movie. And I was like, Ramsey, no, don't do this.
That was the line. The line was obnoxious.
Okay,
yeah, that was not him. That was the line.
That was the
confrontation with Kenneth Okonkwo in church. Come on now.
Yeah. I feel like this Ramsey thing is because of his Naked the Pretty Serpent cinematic universe that is causing this thing. Because
maybe
to be honest, I blame AY for the Ramsey thing. I blame AY. There's no way they will know whatever. If you do Merry Men 3 times, it will affect your CV.
Yeah, I actually agree with you 100%. I feel like Ramsey has been AY-ized to a degree where I feel like it's picking some.
Blame AY. And he's right in those movies, but there's only so much you can do about it.
See, I'm very willing to blame AY for everything and anything, right? I'm very willing to blame AY. But I also put some blame on the grown man with picking up AY-isms. Sorry, no offense.
77 is coming. You'll be convinced. You are bringing you back.
Oh Jesus!
No.
Please, because I like 76. Let's not do this.
Yeah, you guys are going to be in for a rude awakening with that 77.
Anywho, my last one on the list for now, I can think of Kiss Daniel.
What?
Huh? Kiss Daniel,
Babalu.
I don't understand.
Daniel Timothy.
Oh,
you don't know Kiss Daniel? Wow.
Wow, you I don't like you guys in this place.
I'm sorry. I am sorry. I need everybody to get involved. It's not like he didn't complete day, but I don't see. I feel like we're very lacking in aura. And I feel like when you keep trying to tell me that this person have aura, and I'm not seeing the aura, I get annoyed. I feel the urge to fight somebody. Because why do you keep telling me, oh, this man is the pinnacle of sexiness, is screen gods, romance, and I'm like, him? Okay, I guess.
I feel like Daniel destroyed his aura with his.
I think so. I think that
destroyed his aura once again. Back to celebrities being a little too not private.
It's not about being private, Seth. I think there is, and there's been this conversation about they're needing celebrities to do things on Instagram and to dance for marketing and to what have you, right? And yes, there's a lot of branding that is required as a celebrity, and especially if you're going to lean into romance and you want to be a leading man and all of that stuff, your branding needs to match. And some of the branding was so. It gave me the ick. And when you've given somebody, when you give me the ick, I'm not watching your romance thinking, oh my God, this is romantic. I'm like, ew, I still have the ick. So yes, there is some offline branding that caused that lack of aura. Maybe it was there before, but it has now gone. And also, I think I saw, I don't feel like we have like good range either, because Jolly Roger, because we did Jolly Roger, right? He was the one in Jolly Roger.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it Jolly Roger?
Yes.
He was both in Jolly Roger and then this thing.
Collision
Course. They're vibing with my flow. And I was like, okay. And then we just saw Masked King, and it was doing this whole lip quivering, spitting thing that I don't know where it came from.
OMG.
I'm like, I guess you're trying something new. It's just director not tell you, pause, let's wipe your lips. Don't do that again. Let's move on. Yeah, I don't know. I want to say there's something there. There's something there. It's not like it's bad. It's just they match the vibe. I don't know this.
All right.
Mrs.
Okay.
C, not
So
to sorry, Mr. C. I want to support Mrs. C's point a bit, but do you see this lip quivering thing that he did in Mask King? He also did it in that film Happiness Is, that the South African production, the second one. And
oh this
oh my
Never
god,
seen it.
Case Daniel did it. It was really fine-ish there. But oh my god, he had that spit. There was spit in the pit of his lips, and I couldn't look past it. Oh my god. Like I was like, this cannot be our how did this is supposed to be like our best. Did we send this man to South Africa for this? Well, seriously, I think to a certain degree, I believe that he has earned his stardom. But I agree about the overratedness. At least when you're looking at his range, he's mastered romance really. But I think when you put him in like other roles with
Genres.
other genres, like this masking guys, I watched it too. Oh my god. Okay, first the story is not good, the directing is not good, but him as a person. But we've seen situation where everything can just be bad, but they'll say actor tried their best. This was I don't know what this was. So maybe it's a recency bias for me. If I say yes, it's overrated, but it will be because of the films I've seen recently from him.
okay. No, all right. Hey. Okay. Wow, people have said a lot. Well, okay, it's my turn. Unclench, please, as I go through my list of overrated. Let's start with the least controversial one here. Bob Manuel Udoku. And I say that as somebody who's kind of charmed by Bob Manuel as well. But if you look at his colleagues and how they have aged in their acting, Bob has not aged well with his acting. I'm looking at like his flights Kiniko cameo that he did. I don't know why the guy was
Oh my Jesus.
so American sounding. And then I was like, wait, no, Bob Manuel has always been sort of American sounding, but this one is extra. And I've gone back, I went back to watch a couple of things, and he really did have a lot of American accent in a lot of
He's
things.
been doing the American
And
accent
He did,
since
yes, yes,
'94, since
from the
Checkmate.
beginning. I think
yes,
from yes to the checkmate.
yeah, so it takes like Igbo films to get him out of it completely, which is if I'm remembering correctly, because yeah, anyway, but yeah, Bob Manuel is going to have to hold it for me in terms of overrated. Um, okay, and then we'll go to one that has already been the two that has already been mentioned. Wole Ojo. Yeah, I've said it before. I think the guy overdoes. I don't think he's being, if not, and I still stand on it. If not that he was in a shot I saw recently where he was reciting, um, was it Proverbs? Was it Proverbs or a passage of Psalms? And the way this is almost like theater type of speak, the way it flowed with the Psalms, I was like, this feels like what you were born to do, my guy. This is the only dialogue that sounds good from your ear and from your mouth. Actually, I thought he was okay in Oju Kokoro in terms of the acting ish. I thought that he was actually also kind of alright in that. But like in a lot of things, he just seems so cartoonish and he overdoes things, and it often feels like he's playing a character from a different genre, and a genre that honestly I don't even think I would have liked him in that genre if it was that genre still. So but like, yeah, people keep on rating him like he is not just that he's not doing poorly, that he's one of our best actors of all time. I don't see it at all. Um, Odunlade, we've spoken about. If Femi Adebayo didn't exist, I was like, maybe it's a Yoruba bias. It's like maybe I don't maybe the epic movies I'm watching. It's the epic movies that I'm watching that is making me not like him. But every time Odunlade is doing any Yoruba epic, he just comes out as obnoxious and unpleasant, and I'm straight. I'm wishing immediately for him to get struck by lightning. His character. Okay, so here are some of the other names that might not sit well with some of you guys. All right, the first one is Jide Kosoko. I think a lot of people like Jide Kosoko, and I get it. And I think he has done a couple of good performances for me, a couple. But my guy is also a cartoon character a lot of the time, and I don't understand how. I don't understand why this is given the pass that it's given as that it's given in our sphere. In fact, some people fancy him as quite a good one of our greats. I do not wish for him to be part of that conversation, and he would not be in it if I were having a conversation. For me, I think he has done a type of character well enough. I just don't think he's been special or anything to write home about. So that's why if Jide Kosoko if somebody can say Jide Kosoko is a star, that's why I said
You're actually right. He's one of those people that did not live. I mean, that did not grow. Let me put that in
Yeah,
quotes. He
I
probably
agree
acts the
with
same
you.
character. He has been acting the same character since like the 80s too.
yes, and this is why for me, Akin Lewis is what people keep on claiming Jide Kosoko is for me, and that's why I put Akin Lewis where he is, and that's why Jide is where he is for me. All right, so and then the last name on here that's definitely gonna rub some people the wrong way, and that's OC UKJ. Right, okay. So I know a lot of people. Again, this is almost like the Genevieve version, although I know he's not. I know he doesn't have the kind of rabid fans that Genevieve has, right? So I know I can't expect the kind of. I'm not going to be expecting the noise that I got from that. But OCKJ is good, fine sometimes. That's all he deserves. People speak like he's too good for Nollywood. I don't see it. He's not. He's not. He's not. He's not that good. He's not the best actor he's not the best actor. I've not mentioned the actor's name. It's still in the upcoming. We still have an underrated list. That person's name is going to be mentioned. He's not in that conversation for me. He's not in the. I know, like, he has done Hollywood, but I'm glad for him. Networking has worked well and all of that. He's done fine. He's not better. He's not better than Nollywood. If I see him in Nollywood, he will fit. He's good. He's not bigger than Nollywood, please. Not when we're producing people like Uzomaka, please. And people are still saying no, Uzomaka is too good for us. OCKJ, no, I think he would fit very well in a good Nollywood maybe it's the lack of like male people who can
We don't have
probably play
male
like romantic
fans.
leads. That's the starvation that is disturbing us because guys, it's not the talent like that is not as deep. Like if he's going to Hollywood, he's not going to get crumbs. I'm sorry. And sorry, if you don't even take my word for it, take Hollywood, see Hollywood now. And see Hollywood. It's not that everybody's chances are reflective of all of that. I still think he's good. I just don't think he's the beans. And I think that's my Tomano, Jide, Wale, Dunlade, OCKJ. Yep. So that's my list. Enjoy it. All right. I'm going to mention some people's list that they've sent through. So Uchenna says, I think RMD costs more on presence than personality. Still Human says, it didn't date for Uncle T. Overrated, Ibrahim Suleiman, Mike Okironye. And then Superstar Osa says, not too much of my Michael. All right. Okay. So, Adeyemi says, Timini is bankable. He serves his own purpose for the box office. That's that now. That's why he's in the conversation. No, if you're not bankable, you wouldn't really be in this conversation. So that's fine. Anyway, let us go to the final chapter, the underrated. I wonder how many people will come up here. Underrated or the upcoming people, the people who we think have it, and we're hoping they will be stars soon, or we can do something with them. All right, Alana, do you want to kick us off?
This one, Oppo. Oppo. Like I was creating a list and I realized Nollywood is criminally underusing people and elevating funny people. But to God be our glory. Let us begin. On my list, I have one of the most criminally underrated individuals in Nollywood, in Buchi Franklin. I do not have the words to explain how much it pains me in my chest when I see the things they do with Buchi Franklin, or sorry, the things they fail to do with Buchi Franklin, because there is nothing this man cannot do. When I first watched him in Rattlesnake, I think that was the first time I saw him in Rattlesnake. You see that scene when he confronted the police officers, his final scene. It was so powerful, it was so electric, and like Abba, that he embodied that character. So like, and he's not somebody that needs like 1 hour to settle in. Some people, their talent progresses as the scenes progress in the movie. Maybe in the beginning they're not today, but like in the middle of the film they'll suddenly find out that they can act. It doesn't happen for Pucci. And we see it again in Raz Guy. He had about 10 minutes and he did what many cannot do in that 10 minutes. He has never not been good. That's how good he is. But like I said, my list, Oboju. So there are more persons. I also have Sheun Ajayi. I've not seen Sheun Ajayi doing anything that is bad. Like, no matter what. And if it's 5 minutes you give him, if it's 50 minutes, you will know the character. The character will know you. Like, if you would tell him to be an annoying fowl, he will be an annoying fowl. And see, I don't think people understand how difficult it is to play like an irritant. Because an irritant is not necessarily a bad guy in that sense that he's a villain. He's just an irritant. So for him to be able to play, you see what he does with Smart Money Woman. I don't have words. So let me continue to other persons. Another person that is underrated is Femi Jacobs in my mind. I don't know. Some of these people, I don't know if they are underrated because Nollywood is not giving them work. I mean, and then they select work. So I don't really know what the hold up is there. But again, Femi Jacobs, anytime you see him, he kills the role. Like, what he did in the visit, in the meeting, in Meet the Kujus, anything that has D inside the title, he's there, he's present. Maybe that's his own clause. And when he's present, he gives a very wonderful performance. Another person on my list, older, and I do not know why he's being criminally underused. Again, Kalbi Kagu. I don't know who he offended, but to God be the glory. I don't think I've seen him, but this is somebody like Femi Branch. I think he has been around for many years, and recently I've seen a lot of his performance. Like, I've been watching Chetam, and he's since I don't even have words. There was one particular episode that was, God, when they came and killed everybody in Berry and everything. The power, the fact that not just that he has had to play like two characters. Like, he played his two different characters, like in personality, in mannerisms, and he carried both characters. He's able to swim and wade through two very different characters. I don't think people understand, because people keep on talking about how in Nollywood you have to immerse yourself in a character for you to know the character, for you to immerse yourself in not one but two different characters within the same production. And it's not even like they are saying, oh yeah, you would do the first half as this person, the second half as this person. And he has been able to do it like seamlessly, just wade through. I don't have words, but yeah, Kali Kago. Another person on my list, Samba Sanzeribe. I don't know who he offended. This man has an AMVCA. He has been brilliant. For some reason, I don't know why he's not, I don't know. But yeah, so let's agree that he does maybe the same kind of role, but he does the same kind of role well. Another person on my list is Daniel K. Daniel. I don't even know what happened to Daniel. I don't even know at this point if Daniel is underrated. I mean, Daniel just traveled and did something else abroad, and that's why we're not seeing him again. But yeah, I think the last production I've seen him was Dichi. But yeah, another person I think is very good. And finally, is it finally? Let me round off my list, Kuku. There are more names, but let me round off my list with Sean Fakwa. Again, yeah, I don't think I've seen Sean Fakwa in anything that I did not like him in. He has always been good. And he's always played supporting character. I think it's only in that House of Secrets that maybe, I don't know if I can even call that character a lead, but let me agree and call that character a lead. Another person that is always good all the time. But let me leave this. That's my very long list. I also have Oziago on my list, Sha. But Oziago is on my list because even if you're doing oral form and things like that, Oziago is good to me. So yeah, that's another person that's underrated. That's all.
Oh my goodness. Finish us, finish us. Thank you. I thought I agreed with a lot of the people on that list, and then some names came in. I was like, all right, generally the list was good. So I'll forgive that. I'll forgive those two. There's two that stand in my head right now. But all right. Elizabeth, do you want to tell us, give us your list of underrated?
Okay, so underrated. Underrated for me is probably going to seem is going to sound similar to what I said last week for the female side. I don't think if I feel a lot of people are just quite rated. I mean, yeah, they are good enough for whatever roles that I get to. But underrated because I feel like the landscape, so many things are probably stacked against them as far. Nollywood probably wants a certain look, a certain height. I mean, which is funny because to me not too tall like that. But then a certain, I mean, they tell you that this is what the audience wants, right? So for those that I think they are underrated as far their acting, and I just don't want them stuck in whatever. I'll start with the older guys. I know that we said somebody did mention Bimbo Manuel as a star, and I don't think he is. I think he's one of those characters that people do go bring when they feel like, oh, we need a supporting character to like maybe bump our performances. That is what I feel from most of the um, films that I've seen him in. He's older now, so I don't know if filmmakers or producers think he can carry a film based just off of his person or character. Another person would be Tony Oshinaike. He's been around for a very long time, and not just because of range for me, is that I feel like we use the same. I mean, now we are using him. I think we're seeing him more, but maybe in TV. Yeah, we're seeing him more in TV. Similar with Ipomosa Gold's character, we're seeing them more in TV. And I think it's because there's now maybe roles for people in their 50s. But it would have been really nice to have seen him come up, and I feel like there are lots of people that we have now that will now be filling up that space in years. And I think is a criminal on that. Is we are just criminally underusing them, and I think it's not fair. For most of the younger ones, there's another person which I've not really seen him in a lot of performances. To be fair, but I think he's someone that, based on the performance that I saw way back, I feel like more producers to should take chances on him. But I also think that the high thing again, Nollywood. You, anyways, story for another day. I think Tomiwa Tegbe. I don't know if that's the pronunciation of his surname. I saw him in Sugar. Like I said, generally all the kids on Sugar they were really good. Even those in the minor roles, I thought they were really good. Apart from Abayomi Alvin, anyways, fine boy nonetheless. Tommy Wategwe, I don't know. I've not seen him again. I've not seen him in much. I don't see him in mainstream films, and I think he was on. Jennifer's TV series, I don't watch. I've never watched. Never had the chance to. But I think this is someone that I don't want the system, in quotes, the environment to age him out. Again, there's only little, of course, he can no longer play. I mean, we saw these guys in Kasala, and I think they should, if they're not closer to 30, they should be in their 30s now. And I think that's just not fair, right? I feel like we had that incubator moment. Very few people have been aged out of that system. Maybe if you mentioned Timini, many people again, I mean, Sugar has a lot of alumni, but maybe not a lot have properly transitioned into stardom. And I just feel, I mean, apart from Mike Aflaren, I don't think he was in Sugar, I can't remember, but he was in Kasala. It's another person that we've seen him in a couple of mainstream films. Again, criminal on the utilization of talent. I would like to see him. We've seen the other guy, what's his name? Emeka. We've seen him. We've seen him too. And I would be quite if he gets sunk into what I call the Gabriel Afolayan conundrum, where Gabriel was a good child star and Nollywood just didn't know what to do with him. He's a fine boy, but maybe not tall enough for them. And everybody just uses him for when they need that star performance and then dump him. So is it possible to be a ladies' man? Yeah, I think it is. Again, maybe not all everyone is going to get that tall. It's quite unfortunate that we don't have the tall. Again, is it that it's missing? Anyways, long story. Tom Cruise is not tall. I've been reminded here. We have a lot of people that are not tall. Who is this other short guy in Rayman? And point is, I think if we're not careful, everybody's going to fall into that Gabriel Afolayan. When you start noticing Gabriel, he's already in his late 30s. Before you know it, he's 40. Next thing, he has that belly. And he's probably not going to be acting, a heartthrob any longer. And now you just look for that against scenes to put him in. So that's that for underrated for me. I would Gucci Franklin will come up again on my list. Now, not because of range alone, because I think he's also a fine boy and he has the height. Right, he's tall. I saw him in person at the airport one time, and I was like, you know what? Fine, cast this man. Love interest. It really can't be that bad, right? I'm sure that if you farm him enough for love interest, to stick. Yeah, so that's it. That's my list. I probably have other names later, but yeah.
Okay, all right. Thanks, Elizabeth. Lehi, do you have a list for underrated male actors?
Okay, so I think they've kind of mentioned the people I wanted to mention, but just more on whatever. I remember him from On the Real. I don't know how many people watched On the Real, and he was like my favorite part about the whole thing. He was like a secretary, or yeah, that was the only like proper grown role I've seen him play, and he played it very well. And I agree with Elizabeth that because of physical, they don't like short people, or they don't want because then Gabriel fella had to grow a beard. I remember when he was in Super Story, he didn't really have a beard and everything. Like he had to grow a beard, and yeah, like it's kind of sad. But yeah, I think Tom Tebe is probably my pick. I think he should be in more things. I think out of all the Casala boys, I think he has been in the least stuff, and he's still stuck in that. He's in My Siblings and I, acting like a child. As a child, he's in what else? He was in this New Sugar, I think, and he wasn't. They didn't really age him up as well. I like he's still stuck in those like children, teenager roles, and I just like all the Kasala boys are both 30 now. Kasala was 7 years ago. Like it's just sad that they've not been able to like go into more adult roles. So yeah, Tomotebe, that's my pick.
Okay, all right. That's it's all right pick. Brian, is there someone on your list that you think needs more shine, needs more acclaims?
Yeah, I have three, but one has already been talked about, Bucci Franklin. I don't want to talk more about him. Now, let me go way, way back. I don't know why this guy wasn't as big as Emeka Iken. Ernest Obi. I don't know if you remember him. He used to be good. I don't know what happened to him. Then there's Basog Taria. I watched him in Domitila. Basog Taria, fantastic actor. He should have been bigger than he became. There's also Shola Fosudo. Him and Liz Benson back then. Yeah, him. Those are the names on my list.
Okay, that's
Can I add one more person, please? Can I add one more person?
sure.
Okay, so sorry, Charles Etubiebe. I don't know if that's how to pronounce his name. I don't even know where he is now, but I really liked him in Anake. I liked him in Ojukokoro. I don't know if he's still even in Nollywood, but I really, really liked Charles. I really like Charles, and I hope he can come back. But yeah, so I want to say Charles Etubiebe as well.
Yeah, okay. All right. Uchenna, do you have a list of underrated? Do you have any other lists? And Uchenna, are you there?
Sorry. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I don't know. I don't really know if I have much to contribute this week. I've always had issues with male actors in Nollywood in general. Uh, but I think that is because I just don't know how to evaluate a lot of the male actors. Sometimes I think it's less an issue of their own skills as it is the material that they're given to deal with. But I have voiced several times that um, I have a lot of questions about the way that masculinity is expressed in Nigeria in general, and it translates to the movies. Like, the idea of masculinity in Nollywood movies tends to be acting like a kind of an asshole, over stoic, not a lot of sensitivity. And within those grounds, I just really can't see a way to evaluate acting performance most of the time. I'm not talking on point right now, actually, so I'm going to stop talking. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. I think I probably won't have enough time, but it's really something worth delving into why I think we struggle. And I think both with, I think it's part of why OC KJ gets the hype that he does, at least part of why, because I think he is a very good leading man in terms of for romance. I think he's good at that. And I just don't know how many people, like, we are having to recycle RMD at 60 something. At 90, in 20 years, are we still going to be using RMD
All right, let me say
guys
something
for
about RMD
leading
real
man?
quick. I'm sorry. It's not. I'm not right on subject right now either. But I'm going to say it. I'm going to clarify what I meant by when I said he coasts more on presence than personality. I'm sorry. You can finish what you were saying. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No. Yeah, I just saying there's something we need to talk about there in terms of picking this apart. Why we just even it's funny because even I saw Mildred say it's hard to judge the actors on I can't remember what I just can't judge actors because the filmmakers are not good. Film is not really an actor's medium. Maybe I can't remember if Mildred was there for our female ones, but it's just interesting. We're getting all these for the male actors one, and I felt it. I felt it last week. I knew this week was going to be different, but there's something about the male. But that's the way we're writing for men. It has to be because I can't just believe that they're just much more talented. Even if they're more talented females, that's fine. But like, we're struggling. It's not that, oh, we only have 10. We are struggling in this male romantic lead. We're just again, we're recycling RMD. But anyway, Jenna, what did you want to say about RMD?
Yeah. No disrespect to RMD at all, but I think about 80% of his performance is his appearance. He is a tall, distinguished looking kind of older gentleman. The remaining 20% is his voice. But other than that, I really do not get much from him. I don't see it. And again, I'm not even going to say that it is his acting skills itself, but it's the material. It's the way that men are written in Nollywood. And I think it has to do with the fact that I don't want to get too deep over here, but I feel that the idea of being a man in Nigeria in general is involves a kind of erasure of humanity. Like, the idea in Nigeria, being a man, you are expected not to behave like a human being, really. You are mocked and derided for showing humanity. The performance of masculinity in Nigeria is just extremely shallow to me. So I've never really been that drawn to a lot of male performances in Nollywood. But what I find more alarming about it, as I've said many times before, is that it's based on assholishness. Like in the past, you had Emeka Ike, who to me always seemed like a villain. I never understood why he was cast as a romantic hero, because his persona was so unpleasant to me. And then you have Timini too, who's supposed to be a playboy but comes off as misogynist. And then when you watch so many of these Nollywood movies, especially the ones you see on YouTube these days, so much of it is based on, the meet cute. The so-called meet cute really involves the man being extremely abusive towards the woman. Like there's one that I'll never forget that had Rita Dominic playing some sort of social media obsessed young lady, and I think Saga was playing a big star.
Uche Montana. Was it Rita
Did I say Rita
Dominic?
Dominic? Sorry, I meant Uche Montana. Sorry. And and I think she makes up some sort of rumor for him about him uh, for attention, and he comes and uh, he deals with her extremely brutally, and
He derides her
yeah, and
brutally.
destroys her life and stuff like that.
Even sent his
And
fans
he is
to attack
right,
her, and it was
and
like,
as viewers, you get the sense we're supposed to be so impressed by his brutality towards this woman that we feel so rewarded when they eventually fall in love somehow. I mean, that's the kind of masculine role you get in Nollywood. It's always about the guy acting like a complete ass, and I just don't relate to it at all. So I don't know. It's hard for me to talk about men in Nollywood. They're just extremely two dimensional to me in general, and at best they are emotionally neutral, and at worst they're really really horrific.
Okay, I mean, I think this is a topic we'll pack for an actual session. It sounds
yes,
it sounds
definitely.
interesting because I think on some part I agree and I get that because that definitely exists. But on the other hand, we definitely have had good versions of this. So I'm not sure why we can't have we can't do more of the good parts that we've seen. So
I think
uh,
Arukwe has done some really good stuff, by the way. I find him really refreshing in a lot of ways. I mean, in the past, for a while now, he's been locked into his stereotypical Igbo trader kind of role, but he's done some really good stuff that I find quite encouraging.
yeah. All right. Mrs. C, do you have a list for underrated?
Yes. So I'm going to echo Butchie Franklin like everyone else. I really enjoy watching him, and I think we should have more of him. Sheun Ajayi as well. I haven't seen a lot of him recently, and I remember really enjoying the times I have seen Sheun Ajayi. And I think Toye Oshinaike is underrated, or at least criminally underused, because I think he's just absolutely brilliant every time he's on screen. So yeah, I want to see more of him too. That's my list.
That's a very good list. All of those people would be in my list. I imagine they actually
Can I just
are.
interject real quick too? Again, I'm so sorry. I missed part of this space. Was Stanton's name mentioned at any point?
I think. Where did you
I
mention
mentioned him in Touch and Go.
for what?
In Touch and Go, in the good, and he used to be good, and it hasn't come out. So it do day inside. They
Okay.
need to bring it out.
Because I like him too, and I think that he is also an exception to the general description I've given of most Nollywood male stars. I think he's really good. There's something about him. He has a humanity to him that I really like.
Yes. Yeah, and I used to be a huge, I
Yeah.
used to be a much bigger fan, and then just recently
It was from Prophetess that things went a little downhill.
yeah, I think it was in Iroko. It might have been from Iroko that I really liked him in,
Yeah.
and cinema films just haven't. They've again, it might just be the way we write for for the male actors in the cinema. Super interested in this now. Anyway, my underrated Toyo Shinaka is in there. Um, Butchie Franklin, I'll always give my props to. Like he shouldn't. He's almost. I would almost put him where Uzumaki is. My only thing is, I do need to see Butchie play normal a couple of times well as he has played somebody with a bit more eccentric. I think
he played normal in the one for Sarah.
Yeah, and I thought he was.
Yeah.
Decent. I just want to see more of that a couple more times, and I thought, yeah, I'm completely fine with. He can do it because like normal isn't that, you know, you know, it can't be that much more harder than the rest of the things he's doing, but it's still a skill that you would need to to add to the arsenal. But regardless, if not, for me, he really is one of the people I think his skills can, if we're talking about people that we should export to Hollywood, I think his kind of names I should be hearing, not the other one that was in my overrated list. I don't want to OC, okay, Jay. All right, I can say it. All right. So I've met Tony has been mentioned. Pucci has been mentioned. Anything else? Shewa Ajayi has been mentioned. All right. So Philip Asaya. I This is a recent one for me. And I'll actually add Michael. I add Michael Depart to this list. Both of them they were both in Kilborough and they were both in
God bless
they
you.
were both in
Thank you.
Kilborough and they were both in
Yeah.
Most Toasted Girl, the wedding party episode. And Philip and Michael have impressed me in both of them. I'm actually very surprised by Michael's one because Michael is playing a much more the understated thing, and I really want to see. Apparently, he's a fine man too. You know, I definitely did not hear the end of it when I was hosting the Most Toasted Girl this thing. So I mean, I'm not sure why he's not in more stuff. I think he can really do.
I hope not.
You hope not what? Yeah, I think he can really do good work because the couple of things I've seen him again. These are smaller roles, but I guess that's why I'm putting in the underrated / hope for him to become a bigger star someday. But yeah, that's why he's on this list.
I agreed with Asaya. Disagree with Mike
Philip.
Tapa. Thank you for coming.
You disagree with. I don't know whether you've seen more stuff with him in it. Those are the two things I've seen him in, and I just think he does have a quiet thing. It really caught me unawares in Kilborough. I really thought it's
I would like to see Asaya. No, I meant about Asaya. I mean, not Michael Dapana. For Asaya, I would like to see him in a romantic lead. And I said this, I mean, the same way I would like to see him in comedy. I would like to see him in romantic lead because I think, especially if we follow like the Hollywood templates, most Hollywood stars usually graduate from rom-com actors like heartthrob. You cannot delineate like a heartthrob character from stardom. I mean, and I think that's why we have RMD where he is now, right? And that's why we have Ramsey where he is now. There's something about, and I think that's why the ladies too like Timini, not me though. You cannot separate. There is something about if you can nail it, if you can convince people that you had to be a leading man, it's very easy to try to. If you just think about any Hollywood star, they're either starting off as rom-com lead or they have done a couple of romances where you're like, oh, and the next thing they're giving you the performance of their lives in
Mm.
some A24 film. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I still, yeah, I see it. I get your understanding, Philip, more than Michael. Philip definitely seems more seasoned, but this, I can't help how much I was impressed by the little I saw from Michael.
Michael is young, and he has a lot of years. He's not even that old in the industry in
That's
general,
his
or
business. You should cut that hair first.
great, great potential. It just says the hair, just says because in general he's good and he's multilingual. Yeah, so like
It does not
I
matter.
mean,
Shagwa Arize is
it
multilingual
Please,
matters,
too.
let's
but
leave
So
Chika
is it the
please.
Rinze out
first?
of this list, please. All right.
That's the point. That's the entire point.
Michael's
He
there.
can be the future Shegun.
All right. So Tony, Philip, Bucci, Michael, Shun, and one person who honestly, I think he joined the space. I don't know if he's still on the space, but he did join the space a moment ago. And I was like, yes, him. And people might be like, wait, who? Might be like, wait, really? Richard Brutus. And I'm saying Richard Brutus because of a short film I've seen that's not even widely released. Because if you watch most films, right? If you watch most films that Nollywood cast him in, he is a thug. That's all he's played. And I was like, I guess this is just our new Gentle Jack. It's not true. The guy actually has talent. I did not know until I think there's two shots I've seen. One I can't remember the name, but he was in
Is it a broken mask?
I can't I'm not see I was doing a I was one of the judges in the film one. I can't remember what they called. What are they called? Film Joint Award. So there was just a bunch of shorts being submitted. So I watched a lot of shorts in a very short amount of time. No pun intended. And so I might not even remember the name. And if I remember the name, it might not be the right. If I remember a name, it might not be the right short. So, but I was a little, but the one he's definitely I remember he was also in, and he was also good in that was the one that went for an Oscar nomination from one of the S16 guys from Mike. Is it Michael? Um yeah, Michael. No, I can't remember all these people's names. The one about
Michael Omonua rehearsal.
Thank you, Michael Monua in rehearsal. Yes, he was in rehearsal. So for people who don't know, Richard, he's in. I think he's in Rattlesnake. He's in KLB Volume 2. He's in. Yeah, he's Nollywood. I just cast him as he's the new thug. And honestly, that's all I would have left him in. But thankfully for short films and people who are taking chances there, and I think I also listened to him speak but that's not acting. But I also listened to him speak in one of these round table things. It's just very different from his thug persona. So that's my cap tip to him, and I hope. When I saw it, I just became sad because, like, oh my goodness! So this is how somebody just be thinking, oh, this one's just this, but person has bigger range. But shout out to him. Yeah. Anyway, we're joined by our auntie in the house. Auntie. So I don't know where we'll start now. At this point where we're joining, did you want to tell us? Do you want to
I
tell
don't want to
us?
tell. I don't want to give you a little list. I just want to tell. We're not good. You guys will be speaking Oibo here like we are not good. That we don't know what is acting. We don't know. We don't know the things we need to do to help our actors. We don't. You know what I mean? Because you can ruin a performance in a second with the audio you use. You can ruin it with how you cut it in terms of edit. You can ruin it with sound design. You can ruin it with music. You can ruin it with the cinematography. There's so many things that can ruin a performance. The first time I went into a Nollywood set, right? I was so shocked. The people I thought they were such bad actors. And then when I saw the film later, nothing like what I saw, what I was present to watch. You see what I'm saying? So there's just so many ways you can mess these things up. That's why I can't even really tell you, oh, this person is underrated or overrated or whatever. But yes, obviously there's some people you guys have called here that, one can say that. But I just think there are just so many variables in Nollywood, and the filmmakers are not trying to get better. That's what is killing me. These actors have been carrying us on their back for 30 years. And still, people are getting hundreds of 100 million, over 100 million to make films and still making nonsense, not taking it's always still the actors carrying us. You understand? The filmmakers are not going, we're not going in to understand why certain things are the way they are or what you need to do, understanding what we're doing. We don't even know, understand English, that the language that we're using to tell some of these stories. So knowing all this, I just don't know how I could judge, right? An actor. But of course, you guys are not in the industry, so yes, you can judge based on what we're showing you. But when they tell you, when you see some of the things people can do to just ruin somebody's performance, it will be so difficult for you to judge people. That's all I wanted to just come in and say. Come in here. I didn't even know you guys have had the ones for women, but it's just so criminal. Just like Brutus that you just mentioned. I used Brutus in La Femme Angela, and this is me going in to try and find out. I go out of my way to try and find out these actors, talk to them personally, try to see how I can present them. But most of us don't want to do it because everything is about quick money, making this money, shoot it quickly, everything. And we've been doing this for 30 something years. 30 something years, and we're still not ashamed of it. And I'll keep saying it. If you're not good, nobody can say, oh, that your actors did this and that. And that's just my own point. And that's why that's my own contribution to this. Sorry.
It's always a pleasure having Mildred on. Thank you. Filmmaker's perspective. All right, Vanessa. Elizabeth, before you go, Vanessa is also joined us. Our ex guest host, our former guest host. Please, our former guest hosts. Which list do you have for us? Which lists do you have for us?
So, Auntie Meredith, she do say what I wanted to say. Auntie M do say what she wanted to say. I genuinely was going to say, do we have hope? All these people that were calling, do we have hope? We don't have hope, because if an industry, and I know we did this last week, and we talked about people who we think are underrated and who should be in the front, and rather than falling through the cracks. But the reason why they're falling through the cracks is the people who are casting them, the people who are supposed to cast them, the directors, the filmmakers, are not very good at their jobs, like Auntie Em said. So obviously, these people who are versatile and talented um, are gonna fall through the cracks. But I think a few of the people on my list for underrated had been mentioned. I think we've mentioned people like Demi Banro, we've mentioned people like Oziagu. I think we've mentioned quite a few people who somehow, maybe it's a combination of not being cast, but also them making specific choices to not be cast in a bunch of nonsense. I think Ozzy is one of those people who would just not rather act than be cast in a horrible film. So I guess there's also the combination of the people who have self-respect and like are not going to do some things. But I mean, I think Nollywood has a bit of a lack of a male actor problem. There's a lot of women in the industry, and I think the few men that we do have are mediocre. Um, they don't even have charisma anymore, which is sad because we used to have people who had charisma. Even if the talent wasn't there, the charisma more than made up for it. What we have now is just people who are plain and dry as cardboard. Everyone is projecting charisma onto them that they do not have. Case in point, Timini. Case in point, Kiss Daniel of the industry. Case in point, all these men. Well, we're projecting onto them charisma that is not theirs, and that's why it falls flat. Imagine watching a rom-com or a romance and you're wondering why there's no chemistry, because they themselves are as dry as cardboard. They're pasty and dry, and so there's nothing to pull from, guys. That's what's sad. There's a lack of personality there. So if there's no personality to build on, like, have you heard some of these people speak? Guys, have you guys been watching? There's this actors on one-on-one situation that's been going on YouTube. The only one that was interesting was the first one, and it was between Wara and what's her name,
Teniola.
Teniola Aladeshi. The rest of them have been boring. The ones where there's two actors interviewing each other, my God, there's no depth. And if these people don't have any depth to them, how can their acting have any depth? Sorry, guys, we're in the pits. I don't know how else to put it. We're in the pits. Yeah.
Guess what? That's people putting two people together and thinking that that's how Hollywood does it. It is
Oh,
scripted. It is scripted. It is rehearsed. People work so hard before they just go and put two people to start talking. Talking about what? Which script are you people even talking about? Which films are you people even? Have we done anything that's really deep that we're going
worth of
to
having a
we're
conversation.
having conversation for? Excuse me.
Oh,
We should go back
oh,
and work. All these things we're doing.
but
We're
Auntie
doing
M,
for all these shows, and we're doing premiere nonsense. We're premiering for nonsense.
oh,
Everything. And all of us, we don't know what we're doing. We should sit down and figure out what we need to do to get to the next level. And when I mean next level, is to be able to make films that last, for goodness sake. After they'll tell you, oh, it's better than 30 years ago. How can you be comparing yourself with some people who were shooting with cameras, small camera, no lights? How can you be doing that now? We can't even get people to feel. At least even old Nollywood used to make us feel, and we go crazy, and we were hoping they would get better as time. Now you will watch a film in 3 minutes, you can't even remember what the film was about. It's not about sitting, because I've noticed that younger people now, they want to do all these shows talking about whatever. You understand? I'm not talking to you. I didn't even watch your film. So why am I going to even I didn't watch your film past 5 minutes. If Netflix were to start putting out how long we watch films, it would be a disgrace. Because most of the films now we can't even finish all up to the end. Do you understand? The reason being, how? How can you have 100 million and this is what you're going to give me? You want to still give me, aside the fact that the pictures are a bit clear, you understand? You want to still give me the same thing somebody who didn't have a, one tenth of what you had gave me 20 something years ago. So we don't even finish it. And then when I talk, they say, Mildred is talking, blah, blah, blah. We don't love what we do. We're only just doing it for commerce. That when filmmaking starts, you people will know it. And that's when most of you will now be happy to discuss these things. Right now, what you people are doing is just trying to keep the light on, hoping that one day it will happen, because you just cannot lose hope in your country not having a film making industry. I said it. Oh, if you guys let them abuse me again, I've blocked everybody. Let them abuse me after they read this thing. But all of us, we should go and continue learning. Do you understand? And try to make work that's interesting. This Uchenna sitting down here speaking parana parana, he should be here making films. He should be here making films. Why is he not here making films?
I am.
You understand? That is a brilliant filmmaker, but what is it? Why? You see, the ones that can make films, they won't even let them into the industry. You understand? How many films does Izu Ojukwu make? The ones that get money to make films are the ones that just come and be shouting, and they shout. And when let them, oh, you know what? I don't. I've had enough of all this. You people continue. I really love you people for even trying. But it's a joke. If you notice, I don't even come anymore, because it's like we're discussing the same thing. People that went to school. How can people that went to school be still doing this? People that went to school, some of them are like, they went to school, they will read a script and can't even put their thoughts together. If you're a director, you need to read your script and understand it properly so that you can direct. You need to understand the subtext. You need to understand everything about it so that people can meet you at the level, number one level, number two level, number three level. That's their understanding. Because there are people who will come, they're not so smart, they will understand it at a certain level. But there are people who are very smart, and you also make films for them so they can understand you at that level that you're going. Do we do that? No. But all they have to say is, oh, Mildred doesn't, she has not. We need to get better. And our young people that are talented are starving. How can a Buchi Franklin not be lead? That tells you we're idiots. We're idiots. How? How? How can they say one Ajayi be languishing on this? How can Ijoma go be languishing? We're fools. Fools. And then all of them, they go, and when this big Netflix and everybody comes, the idiots that have no sense will quickly go there and cover everybody so they cannot see the people who really have the talent. And I'm hoping that the way that Prime and Netflix have gone now, they've gone back and say, you know what, we need to approach this in a different way and truly, truly find out talent. If they find talent, it's skit makers that will become our filmmakers. Because some of them make better films than we make films. They're able to get some what do you call it, feelings from you. I keep telling them, how are you trying to, when you make this scene, what do you want me to feel? I watched a film the other day, a romantic comedy, Meet Cute moment. You can tell the director didn't even spend time on this. Meanwhile, that is the crux of a romantic comedy, isn't it? If you mess up the Meet Cute, it's gone. This movie, Love in Everyone, that everybody is shouting about, if it wasn't the actors, that film would be not a single atom of filmmaking. It was the actors
It's so
dragging
bad.
us.
Oh my
The
god.
beautiful actors, all of them, the actors, just dragging us, kicking and screaming, and we were watching. I watched it till the end, and it was the actors. And if they like, they can let them come and abuse him, but they know I'll say my mind. Somebody paid money for you people to make a film. It was only the actors that pushed that film. And that's who we're running to. That's who we're running to. We're saying, you know what? We will hang in there because these actors are there. Maybe one day I they can myself enter, you know, or maybe we that are filmmakers will finally get it and complement what actors are doing. Thank you guys. I'm just in that mood.
Always welcome all of your moods. Thank you very much. Uh, Elizabeth,
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, because last week I was begging you guys to please take a chance on Jemima. But it's not her. I really think it's the directors, and I still stand by it again, which is also reminiscent of what I mentioned about how we're going to have criminally underutilized actors. We have some of these young actors that the system is going to age them out, and they will end up not being in like where we think their power, energy, and so on and so forth can be proper utilized, at least to get them to that stage of stardom. I mean, we've already mentioned for the women, we mentioned what's her name? Power. This is a new name now, Power Sha. You shall know what I'm talking about. Uzamaka, yes. I don't know why she chose Power, because even if you're going for stardom, I don't know why Power, but that's a conversation for another day. Is that like a Austin Powers? Okay, anyways, conversation for another day. The thing is, the directing is bad, filmmaking is bad. It's true. It's true. It's true. And you watch films and it's like the directors did not show up at any point. Story, film knowledge is another thing that I think is very bad. Film knowledge. Again, our actors, what are they doing? Is it just another day at the job? Do you study? Do you improve, even if it's just understanding, right? So all of these things to say that I watched a movie last week with the C's. What's that film? What's that film from this
Radio
filmmaker?
Radiohead.
Voice.
Radio Voice. So I watched Radio Voice. As much as I said that RMD is overrated, at least skill wise, I still stand by it. But RMD gave one of the few performances that is reminiscent of the glory from the past, from some 30 years ago, from maybe when he did Diamond Ring, right? You can see a bit of some of the performances from Out of Bound in there. And it was directed by what's her face? I can't, Isioma, I think that's her name. Anyways, the point of this story fact is that this story from the first act seemed like it had an actual story, and it was directed in such an interesting slice of life. You're seeing the everything about these actors, and almost every single actor in there in the first act did something good. But the second, third act fell off. Fell off so badly because even the characters became bad. 2D from 3D, they had so much depth initially, because you can envision, even me, not a filmmaker, can envision how their growth. Again, we don't know how to do character development. We don't know how to show character arc. We're always writing flat characters. And yes, so from that film is a prime example of watching actors, including Nancy, that last week we said was bad, being good in the first act, where there seemed to be a form of story and directing. And from second, third act, our acting was so bad. Just again, reminiscent of every other bad performances she must have given. It's there. Similar with RMD. Anything that you thought he was doing badly before, it's there. The only person that was just doing carrying was DME, who again playing every bad role that he has played before. So it seemed like second skin. So just similar to what Ichina mentioned. There are some actors that some of the RI just like DME in real life. It looks like the actor up. Right, like he's a villain in real life, so it makes sense if he's a villain in film. It just feels like he's acting himself, right? So that is what we are having, and that is why we do not have good actors. We've of course struggled with our actors. I mean, the male actors for a while now, and I don't know how we can do it better. But I think it could change with the younger ones, and that's why I really feel like all of these good ones that in quotes I'd mentioned, like we really Sugar was that platform where we could have gotten new actors, age them into like mainstream, and let us have people within this age range. But we're still casting the older people, recycling this characters so much that we will recycle them into their 50s. Then we remember that we need younger characters, and then again we don't have next thing. All of these younger people now have dad boards and they can't play some roles any longer. So that's just it. Yeah, the industry isn't good. But at the same time, I feel like I don't know if there's anything that can be done really. It's going to be a long shot, but good luck to everyone
Well, on
involved.
that note of hopelessness. All right. Uchenna, and then we'll come to you, and
Okay, yeah, sorry. What I'm about to say is not really about the main topic of today, but I just wanted to build on something that Elizabeth said. She happened to say that the directors aren't showing up, and that is kind of true in a literal sense because at least on the YouTube scene, we have this perception of movie production where the director is the auteur, the director is the author of the work. But in YouTube now, we've developed a new model where the auteur of the work is actually the editor, and the editor even gets top billing. Like a lot of times, you won't even see. Sometimes you may not even see the director's name. The director's name is just listed amongst some other random credits, and at the end, it will be like a film edited by Ike Vision edits. Because the edits, because everything is just shot so fast that the editor is just a middle manager whose job is to make sure they get all the requisite shots, and it's all dumped on the editor who makes the movie essentially. And I think I figured out that's the reason why I found it harder and harder to watch YouTube stuff, because from a place where about a year ago where I was watching several YouTube movies a day, now I can barely get through 15 minutes of any one of them. And it's because the pacing is always so weird. You know, the it doesn't really feel like a movie. It just feels like a random assortment of overlong scenes that are just thrown together because these editors are so overworked and they've come to really dominate the process, and they don't really have the connection with the actors. I mean, some, of course, editors, a lot of them never even meet the actors. So that's the reason why I think you're not really getting that emotional connection with the actors and the performances that you really want to, because it's being all conceived within the editing suite. I'm done.
All right. Okay. More people getting. All right. We certainly have moved a little bit, but Alana, did you have anything you wanted to add?
Yes, once again, continue from the recently introduced topic. Actually, I would like to support what Elizabeth said about Jemima. I even feel like Mike Afolarin got some flack from his latest movie, in the sense that I think someone asked me some time back that that's when the movie first came out, that, oh, who do you think you could have recast in this role? And to be honest, I thought about it, and I don't think anybody, like, it doesn't matter who we had put there. The issue was not the actors. It was not the actors. I kept on saying it. I said characterization was the first issue. So anybody you put there, anybody you put there, you would have still had a similar issue. Yes, probably maybe not as bad as you would have had it if as it was, you get, but it would have still had a similar issue, because the thing with movie production sometimes is that I find myself trying to understand where it went wrong, because who do you need to blame for how for how we got here? Sometimes I was telling somebody, I said, look, the script some people submitted is not what was shot. That's even the first issue. Like, sometimes the script you submitted is not what was shot. What was shot is not what gets to the final cut. So from you need to start finding where the issue first came along. So sometimes that's why when I see certain performances, I see certain persons, like, I don't even know where to start blaming them, because there are blames to go around, but the long and short, and we can't even talk about the blame, because if you talk small thing now, somebody will come from 500 miles away and start saying, oh my goodness, this is somebody's hard work. How can you say such about somebody's hard work? Bro, everybody's working hard in this country. Is Everybody's working hard in this country, and if you went somewhere and you met someone in their office and they gave you like a subpar product, you would not remember that it is somebody's hard work. You would just be like, why is this person giving me this kind of thing, irrespective, because it's something that you spent money on, it's something that you have put your mind in for whatever reason. So everybody's working hard, everybody has hard work, and the truth is that if we are not honest about certain things, that's how we just be swimming in the same pool of mediocrity. So I'm not even. There are things that I judge some people on when I see it, but when I feel like everything, a lot of things just do not work at a go, I don't even know how to pull out one person or pull out one thing and say, is this person, is this thing? I don't know, because a lot of things just do not work with certain things. So yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. Couple more people, and then we'll call it a night. All right. This unexpected topic is still quite interesting. I don't know whether we'll finish everything here today. We might do. Vanessa?
Oh, me, I just came to say that Mike Afolari cannot act. Sorry to all involved who think he has potential. I've seen enough. Yeah, no. I see. You know me. I have perpetual hate for Far From Home. And Naim be title lead for Far From Home. When we're talking about the state of the industry, innit, how is Mike Afolari getting these lead roles with the modicum of talent that he apparently has? And yes, there's people with way more talent in their pinky fingers that are not booking leads. I don't care whether people are saying it's director that did one thing. Mike Afolari, Emma Brinu, Mike Afolari cannot act, Jemima Osunde cannot act, Wọ́n kàn Steve B.
Vanessa, you didn't even watch the
Efimile,
film. Just go out. Go
Efimile,
go and
and
go
Monipe
and do your
Efimile,
Insta. Go and do your Insta. Go and do your
It's
Easter.
not wow, do your findings, me ò fẹ́ ṣe findings. Èmi ò fẹ́ ṣe
No,
Go
findings.
and do your
Vanessa, for that
Easter.
particular film,
They are
I
calling
Vanessa,
your
no
his
wan
name.
do
other
findings.
movies,
A ní
yes,
pé mi ò
but
fẹ́ ṣe
you see that
findings.
particular
I
film.
said I no wan do.
Go and do you. They are calling you.
Yes. I'm back now, Susanna and Vanessa. Feel it quietly. What do you stuff? So no. Okay. All right. Vanessa is not. Vanessa is not. Is not a big fan of Mike Following. I think he's already done like 2 big lead roles, so there's not a lot to drop.
And he's bombed both. I don't know. Sorry, guys.
Please,
Sorry.
his director is shit. No, 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 no. It is also it is also inform. No, no, no.
Lébi ẹ̀bà
Vanessa,
ọjọ́
it also
mẹ́ta. He
informs.
just he
No, no,
just
no,
stiff
no.
like about
No,
3
that's not.
days. Please,
But wait,
please.
Mike was in
Yeah.
Kasala,
Okay,
right?
and
Mike
but
was in
Mike did
Kasala,
not
right?
carry Kasala. The
Right?
people who were giving actual
No,
performances in
wait.
Kasala was not Mike Afolarin.
No,
Let's be for
it
real.
was not.
It's
No,
good on something.
but wait. Because this is it, right? This is what we are talking about. We're talking about how you have young actors and we're aging them and they're getting into some productions that you want to see their talent. Somebody like Mike unfortunately has done 2 films from historically proven data driven bad production house. For Far From Home, that story, nothing worked for Far From Home. Let's even remember. I didn't even think his performance was bad in that. But for a Lagos love story, number one, the only problem that story has, the only problem, and I'm telling you, it only has one problem, and the problem is directing. And you see it from the very first scene. Directing didn't happen on that film, and I believe 100% that the actors self-directed themselves. I'm sure that the director just said, "Yes, go on, just shoot, DP, anything you do." I don't think anything happened, and there is no way that will not affect, because if you watch the film is very haphazard, is haphazardly done. But there was something, is the fact that when the 2 leads, there are moments that you see that they directed themselves, that they could be cute, that this is a story that in the hands of somebody else, which now in my head I can't even think of anyone who could have done rom-com properly. Maybe Jadi, if she does not write the script herself too. But at the heart of it is we are seeing how production can break or make you basically, because now Mike Afolarin has been in films from very suspicious production houses. I'm telling you,
Wait,
it is impossible for you to
without
see
without
if it
without
could be
doing
good.
a impromptu discussion on what's the name of the film, love it, whatever the new Michael
Lagos love
Lagos Love Story.
story, yeah.
Without doing
It,
an impromptu version, yeah, I think it's fair to say that I think Nas is probably one of, if we're doing stars and we're doing directors and we're doing bad, Nas would be there for me in terms of one of the biggest bad directors that are big, right? He's consistently, he's made some of the worst films, big budget films, that he's directed some of the worst big budget films. I'm thinking of I don't know. You guys don't watch Nas work really, and I say you don't because a lot of the things that he does, you don't hear a lot about it. Even there's this. Is it something like a boss? Is it Think Like a Boss? Or there's the setup to
It is called Move Like a Boss. It is
move.
starring Nancy Sime and one who was it in the
Is
thing?
Sharon not in that film, sir? I don't
Yeah, see,
You're
see.
let
me.
See,
me me ti
no,
wo àwọn nǹkan.
Nas is consistent. I think I genuinely mean it. There's the other one with what's her name? Funke, with Nengi Adoki is in that one. OC.
Who did perfect arrangements?
No, perfect arrangement. There's perfect arrangement. Like honestly, Nas I'm not mincing words. Like honestly, he makes consistently some of the worst works that he's directed some of the worst Nollywood films that have been made. Honestly, like this is not a. He's making very very bad. So it's difficult. It's difficult to judge any this thing. If you want to judge people, just with a pinch of salt.
Sorry, guys, me, I'm judging. And
Okay.
specifically Jemima. Maybe I can even hear what people are saying about Mike Afolarin. But you see Jemima,
It's
but you see
fine. It's
I agree
Jemima,
fine.
with you on Jemima. I
I'm
think
sorry.
there's
She's
nothing.
done more than just in
Yes.
blocks. Jemima has done more than just in block, and it is
Yes.
the same thing.
I agree with
Emo
you.
Binu, he didn't the director. He
I saw
didn't
that
day.
one
If he
since
didn't
my
day, he
heart.
didn't day.
But
Emo
I
Binu.
thought did you not like her in that people's northern that your
Me, I did not be she there. I did focus.
Beyond
So
the
See,
year.
and you know,
not be she I did
another
look.
reason
Oh, Emo
why
Binu, I didn't look her in that one.
another reason why I would never
Na
pan
Kenneth
her.
Vanessa, they look.
No, because I felt that okay, look at how I mentioned. I watched watching Radio Voice, and Nancy gave one of the best performances I've ever seen. Annie, I've always thought that Nancy has the same acting chops as my center table, but in Radio Voice, at least the first act, I was stunned. I sat up at some point. I looked at Mrs. C. I say, is it my eyes? Is it
Mm,
happening? Here is the thing is that it's obvious that some people have just been unfortunate. We'll probably never see their talent. We'll see their beauty, yeah, but we'll never see some people's talent,
yeah,
unfortunately.
I agree. Yeah, we'll see. But I guess I'm half with you guys on one. I'm still. I feel like the jury's a little out on Mike. And in fact, I would say I've seen enough from him to go. I don't think he's poor, but I'm not sure I've seen enough for him to warrant lead performances quite as yet. But for
Thank
me,
you. That's all I'm saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
And boy, it's
for
from his
me,
blood now.
Jemima, I think we can call it a wrap.
But he's very pretty. I'll give you guys that. Is a very beautiful boy. I did be Nollywood absence. That beauty, coupled with a little something, perhaps I can be on you people's side. Because Bobo Yerewa is a fine boy. I can't lie, very beautiful boy. According to Funke, you have nice limbs. Very lovely.
Oh, good. All right. Lehi, give us the point, and hopefully we'll call it a night.
Okay, I just want to say that I think Nollywood is an industry that I don't know. They act like they want to fail. That's just it. Like I think the industry is very very cooked. And just to go off from Auntie M's what she's been saying, this is what is different between the industry now and the home video things we were doing like how many years back. I even think now is worse. Well, like you see people releasing YouTube films every single week. Diminishing returns is going to set in. Those guys are not doing pre-production. Where is the time for rehearsals? Where is the time to actually have time to do chemistry reads? These guys are shooting like how many days in 6 months, and they'll just keep releasing it. So it doesn't even give these people like the acceptance of the actors to film. That's just the number one. And it's not even like the directors. I don't think a lot of our directors care about film itself. I will never forget a very, very big Nollywood director coming online to come to say something about, oh, film doesn't change life. It's only about money. If not, why did it? And I'm like, if that is the mindset you are bringing as one of the biggest directors in Nollywood, there's no hope. There is no hope. So you think about it, and it's like this industry is so cooked. It's very, very cooked. And it's so sad because it's not like there's no talent. Everybody keeps talking about, oh, Tony Yoshinaike, this thing. Those people were theater trained. It's not they even if they had the ability, they were theater trained. Now, how many of our actors are going for proper training? How many of them have proper rehearsals? Everybody's doing rush. They want to shoot how many films to be releasing every Friday. What are we really doing? And so I agree with Auntie M in that regard that the industry just sets people up to fail. It's not the people at the top don't even care about film itself. Like do they even understand industry standards? And yeah, how what impact do they now even have on the actors? Can they direct performances? What would they what would they even say? I don't know, man. This industry is cool. That's all I have to say. It's very sad. I really had hope for Nollywood, but I don't know where. It's a cycle. We're back to the home video era. That's what we're doing right now. Like that's what we're doing. Yeah.
All right. Anyway, okay. Thanks, Larry. All right. So we ended up in a little hangout right at the end, but I think we've done more or less our list. I just wanted to put out there's not the four films that this is IMDb, so it's I'm sure it's not all of them, but Naz's directorial credit. Who's the Boss? That's the film I was thinking about. The Perfect Arrangement, The Setup to, and No Way Through. All of these films, I'm not joking. These are some of the worst. These
All
films are
bad.
some of the worst films. They're not just bad. They're like especially bad. So know your directors. I don't know.
That
I don't know how this
that no
person
way
is the
through paid me,
biggest.
sha, no
Oh
go
God, I
lie.
don't know. I
That
don't
film
know how
paid me.
this person is also taking, like I feel like what chance does Isioma have? Oh God. Anyway, all right. Let's just call this a wrap. If there's more anger for this, we'll do this next week. We'll talk about the problem with the male leads. But I think something has dropped on Prime that I think people kind of liked. The first one, the Before 30. It might be worth having a look at that. So I'll put a poll up to see if you guys want which one you guys want to do. But thanks everybody for this conversation. It didn't do 4 hours because I keep everybody on time, right? I hope like Vanessa.
Or that the men are boring and women are way more fun to talk about.
Say what you
The hours we spent on women is a reflection on Nollywood. There's way more women in the industry with way more talent than there are men. Talk to the men, tell you people to cast more talented men, then maybe we will spend 3 hours talking about them. No tea, no shade.
I can't
Plenty
believe
shade.
I allow you to do that rant when I have the mute button. Try it again. Try it again while I'm mute.
La 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 la.
I dare you. All right. Okay. Thanks everybody, and we shall see you guys next week. We really enjoyed the conversation. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the episode. If you enjoyed listening and would like to join live, just follow us on Twitter at Iroko Critic and join us every Sunday 6 p.m. West African time on our spaces.